Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Issei is betrayed by everyone and marry Koneko? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content, and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the RUINEDDRAGONARMY for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story. Link in the description. Secrets or lies? Issei Hayate, the Red Dragon Emperor and member of the perverted duo, just saved his master Rias Gremory from her forced marriage, and most would think he would be happy, but as soon as he got to school he ignored everyone while he saw his little brother Gren Hayate, full name Grendel Hayate, was talking to his friends. Partner, what's on your mind? Drake, the Welsh dragon of domination, asked his friend, who was nothing but silent. Sigh, I think I should talk to them, Drake, about the other gears and what they did to me. Issei says as he thinks back to something as he leans on a wall. Flashback. You pathetic mistake, why would you hurt your brother? His father Gory yelled as he was only, and his brother was crying with a scratch on his eye, hugging their mother Mickey. But I didn't, all I did was slap. Before Issei could finish, his father slapped him hard, leaving a mark as he just looked down. You just run off to do whatever, probably being a pervy brat. Why did we have a child like you? If I would have known this would have happened, I wouldn't have let the doctors save your life when you were born. Gora says as Gren and Mickey look shocked, and Issei then begin to cry as he clenches his fist as Gora realized what he said. Fine, if that's how you feel, I will never be your son. I am a useless fool, right? So see ya never, Gora. Issei yelled as he ran away out of the house and into the woods through the park as they realized what he said. But hours later, when he came home, he got beat hard. He didn't just get slapped, he got punched as he felt his blood flow, as he got hit more and more. When his father was done, he cleaned up and cried all night, knowing he was only to lie if he should live. Flashback over. Issei was just thinking back to that time, and he still felt some pain just thinking about it. He could have thought his arm was still bleeding as he then heard someone call him. Hayate, what, not talking? We've talked for a while, come on, Issei. Motohama and Matsuda said as Issei glared and saw the student council Koneko, Kiba, and Kendo club behind them watching. Leave me alone, you only get one warning. Issei spoke cold as no one saw his eyes as his hair covered them, but they thought he was joking. Come on man, let's just. Before he could finish, Issei grabbed Motohama and broken his arm, making him scream in pain. I said back off, pervs, or I will kill you. Issei spoke cold and leaking an aura of domination and a holy aura, shocking the devils in the area as he then saw them run in fear as Koneko walked up to him. Yonam Issei, Koneko said, shocking him as he looked at her. Thanks for dealing with them, but are you okay? She asked as he looked down. So you care? He asked as she went to move forward, but he went on guard and flinched as Koneko then looked shocked. Sorry, force of habit, it's not you, haha. Issei said as he then felt hugged by someone, only to see Koneko and Kiba. He was behind him, but he knew it was him. Issei, are you okay? They asked as they broke the hug as he looked at them. No, not you. See, my brother points to Gren. He made everyone think I was a perv. Sure I am, but not that bad as they think, and he made lies to the point of no return. Now I only ever had you guys, and the orc Rias made my heart beat again, and to say the truth, I would be alive today if my brother wasn't born. Issei said, making them worried but confused by his statement. What does mean by be alive today? Issei noticed their looks and thought to explain. Okay, first, you know I sensed you, Koneko, the day I died, but you left when my brother helped Rainier. Issei said as the two looked at shocked and angry. You see, after Rainier asked me out, I had a hunch it was not normal, so I left, but ready to fight, and my brother followed after she showed me her fallen form and tried to kill me. I was about to dodge, but Gren grabbed me and we both got killed and joined Rias, even though I'm a palm of 7 when she says to others I'm one of. Issei explained as he shed a few tears as Kiba hugged his broth but was furious at his master for what she did, and Rainier as well. While Koneko cried but punched a wall, breaking in rage. Noticing this, Issei snapped his fingers and made a barrier, shocking the two. After the battle of Trihexa, Issei did his best to defeat the beast and Albion help him, but when Trihexa saw Albion is about to attack, the beast decided to attack Albion. Hayate Issei, I'm a end-year high school student, and my age is equal to the number of years I have. Issei, how can you d-dash? Before Koneko finished, Issei smirked and cut her off. I hid one thing from everyone though, I have gears, not just the boosted gear. Issei said, shocking the two as they thought he was joking as it was impossible, but he was serious. That's why I have a holy aura. Here are the 3 Longinus gears of my fate. Issei said, glowing red, blue, and gold as the barrier blocked his aura as he spread wings, 2 blue and white wings, the divine dividing, and he formed a spear of gold and blue of holy aura, the true Longinus itself, and of course the boosted gear, but it let out more power this time. Issei stood tall, showing the gears, while his right arm was coated in a black, red, and gold aura. With all of it together, Kiba and Koneko couldn't stand, let alone breath, from the pressure, making Issei put them away. Issei stood tall, showing the gears, while his right arm was coated in a black, red, and gold aura. With all of it together, Kiba and Koneko couldn't stand, let alone breath, from the pressure, making Issei put them away. And if you want to know the gear, let's just say not yet. Besides, I gained to trust you guys and love Rias, so I'm going to tell her this, Issei said as the two got up to breath as he put away the barrier and walked towards the old school building, which shocked them because they saw Grendel enter the building. A few moments later, Issei made his way into the club room only to see Rias, Akino, Asia, his parents, and his brother all there glaring at him. Did I do something wrong, Prez, and why are they here? Issei spoke, glaring at them back, but his eyes had a flare of gold to them, making his parents scared. Issei, I'm kicking you out of my peerage and the orc. All you have is the boosted gear, and you're weak and a pervert. Maybe I should have let you die, but you served your purpose. After all, your brother's gear is far better than yours, as it Falker with better looks and abilities. Rias said. Gren summoned his gear. Issei was shocked and heartbroken hearing this as he looked towards Akino. He should be a better pawn than you, and he was the one who took Rias' virginity before she went to you. Akino said, shocking Issei that she toyed with him, and his brother did this to him, as he looked at Asia and his parents. Issei, we are kicking you out of the house and our family. Good riddance. The two said as Issei didn't even look at them anymore. Issei, I can't believe you were the one to lie and say you helped me when Gren saved me. You're a fool. Asia said as his brother walked to him. You see, brother, you're nothing but a tool. Grendel said as he smirked and was about to walk away, but felt a surge of power as Issei let out his rage and punched his brother with the boosted gear and sent him flying, shocking everyone. You don't want me fine, Gremory, but this is your mistake. Purge. Range out as Issei finished talking, and he let out a gold aura and his chest glowed until pawn pieces white as they fell out as Issei took in their power, holding them in his hand. See you in hell, devils. Issei spoke as he left and began to smirk, making a magic circle, and left. POV somewhere unknown. It was a woods that seemed to have claws and burn marks everywhere, but as the glow of a magic circle shined, Issei walked out, smirked until he began to cry. Partner, it's okay, I have no words to say, but they are true fools. Drake said as Issei spread the dividing wings. Issei, listen to Drake, they are foolish for believing him, when we can tell his gear is weak. Albion spoke as Issei calmed down but felt pain in his chest. Damn, I wish I would have known they were foolish demons. Sai Replica, can you tell me if anyone is in the area? Issei asked as the glow from his right arm shined into a gauntlet of godlike power. Sai Replica, can you tell me if anyone is in the area? Issei asked as the glow from his right arm shined into a gauntlet of godlike power. Partner, only thing near is a few people of many different races a few miles away in the city. The gear spoke as Issei smirked but felt pain in his cheek as he lifted his shirt, and had black marks on his skin, shocking and worrying Drake, Albion, and Replica. Partner, careful, you are starting to fall. Drake spoke as Issei's eyes widened. Albion tried to divide it, but it failed as he just helped Issei get up. Damn it, Replica, will I die or love? Issei asked. A 7% chance to live, but maybe we can change your DNA into mine and the others. Replica spoke as Dryag and Albion agreed that's the best chance of Issei to live. Okay, but first I want to know who those people are and where my missing memories of April 7th when she disappeared from me, and you three started to talk to me. Issei says as he looks at the sky with the stars broken and empty, but for him he finds beauty of what he knows he is to do next. And that is all for this chapter 1. Hope you enjoy this story. It will a lot of new things like Issei and revenge towards the others and who is Replica and what was April 7th. Let me know what you think, but find out later. Dragon Army, perverted, kind, wanted a harem, lots of secrets, and user FO boosted gear and more. Issei now. Picture it with some white in the hair. Picture it with some white in the hair. Him normal. Him in hidden form. Him in hidden form. Host of Drake and Albion, the true Longinus and Replica, aka God's knowledge. AMD will of everything supernatural, giving him power to copy and remake. Host of Drake and Albion, the true Longinus and Replica, aka God's knowledge. AMD will of everything supernatural, giving him power to copy and remake. Host of Drake and Albion, the true Longinus and Replica, aka God's knowledge. AMD will of everything supernatural, giving him power to copy and remake. Issei's blades you can name, with the SKLL blade steel. It lets him copy and master any sword or weapon attack. AMD upgraded as well as if it was his own, as well as read their movements to defeat them and master the moves beyond its limit. Replica overview balance breaker. It lets him see all info he needs on his foe, and he can cancel magic or negate it. Remake a dimension similar to half dimension, but he does bet he wishes. HR gains durability of red and magic of office in terms of levels. His favorite and most used form Replica Booster Inferno Balance Breaker. His favorite and most used form Replica Booster Inferno Balance Breaker. All abilities of before plus Drag and the other gears in this state, and being able to see how to counter his foes. Boost. A world of gods. Divide. A new world. Issei was in the woods still trying to get after he had Albion divide the pain from the dragon's fall and Drag boost him to keep up with the pain and lack of energy. Drag Albion, I need you both to rest, you can't keep boosting me forever, it will harm you, Issei says as he sheds tears, slowly getting up and placing his hand on a tree to help walk, only to turn of his gears to show his hand turning black and red, making Issei feel sick and pain as be used to stay alive. Partner, please rest, we can call someone. Albion spoke worried as Issei said nothing and kept walking and summoned the true Longinus to help him move more without falling as his vision got blurry. Issei, please let us help at least purge your remaining pieces using us and the spear so you have more time to survive the fall. Drag spoke knowing the other pawn pieces were still in Issei and they needed to be taken free of as soon as possible, which hearing Thiza, Issei raised his head up. Drag Albion Replica, I'm sorry I haven't been the best host, placing seals on us to make me seem weak and now acting like a major perv, haha great, what a fool, he says as he falls to ground, vision becoming more blurry than before. Please Replica, remove the seals and Drag and Albion get rid of these pieces and make me the dragon I wish to be, I won't fall until I'm free, I'm sorry I couldn't do it myself, Issei said in a broken voice before the spear fell from his grasp and he passed out, but not until he saw what looked like a figure of a man in a jacket with angel wings, and that was his last sight before the spear and gears stopped glowing in order to help Issei. Hey kid, are you okay? The figure spoke in panic as he saw Issei pass out and saw the boosted gear for a second along with true Longinus, making him even more worried as he picked Issei up and carried him on his back, taking him to his home. POV Orc. Rias, who was in the club room, began pacing as Issei was not present. She felt infuriated that he left, and still had her pawn pieces and the boosted gear she was planning on taking from him, but now she feels a strange presence blocking her pieces. Rias, why are you pacing? Did something happen? Akino asked as she walked in, placing down tea as Grendel and Asia were next to each other while Kiba and Koneko looked furious. Gren, I can't find your brother, he still has your 7 pieces of that useless perv. Rias spoke as she let out her aura, but before anyone could speak, a dagger covered in blue flame was thrown at the wall, making everyone look to see Kiba pissed and Koneko showing ears and a tail with an aura. Rias, Gremory, that is enough, I don't care if you're my master, he saved you and earned respect from Serzex himself, yet you mock him, you are no king. If you need a knight, ask Sona, I'm going to find Issei. Kiba snapped as he stormed out the door as Koneko glared at them. You gave me a home, you said you viewed others like family, what lies, you only care for yourself, I hate you, I guess I'm only a tool as well, being a Nico. Koneko said as she began to flow tears of pain and a broken heart and rage. Go to hell, Gremory, get a new rook, Issei saved you and fought after I retired, yet you are nothing, you lost a major warrior, and you didn't even let him tell you the secrets he hid. Koneko yelled, crying as she hid her ears and tails again and left as Rias was shocked and furious that her pieces are doing this for a perv like him. What could he do? Nothing, but then why did he gain her brother's trust? Rias was left shocked. Rias, are you okay? Asia asked, going to her, giving a hug. No, I'm not, I lost my knight and rook and I can't get new pieces because they need to know what happened to Issei, damn it, damn that fool, wait, Gren? Rias said as she then moved Asia away and went to Grendel and placed herself over him, making him red. Want to help get your balance breaker? She asked as Akino and Asia looked confused while Gren smirked as he wanted power, he wanted to kill his brother, and he would do anything for it. Absolutely, Rias, what must I do to gain my power? He spoke as Rias looked at him with a smirk. POV the next day. After Issei passed out, he was angry and felt pain as he was in his old room and was on the ground seeing Rias and his parents beat him and betray him. He felt anger and pain, and he tried to attack, but he then was put into the woods as he was confused and lost. Don't cry, you aren't a mistake, you are the emperor who will rise from fate. A girl spoke as Issei began to cry as he turned around to see a small girl in front of him. It's you, where did you go? Eve, been looking for you and I can't recall your name, what is it? Issei yelled as she put a finger over her lips with smirk. You need silence, my love, someday we will meet again. She spoke until Issei saw only white. Silence, ah! Issei yelled as he then jolted up and was panicked, but then saw he was in a bed and a new clothing set out, but someone was next to him. It was a black-haired girl sleeping, yet she looked familiar, making him panic for a second as he shook her up. "Excuse me, miss?" Issei said as she woke up, yawning, feeling calm. Issei_Lucifer, thanks for the image, his work not mine, mentioned a user. Yawn, sorry, I was worried so I waited here until you woke up. The woman asked as Issei smiled but frowned, seeing her red eyes and how the girl he met didn't have red eyes. Nice to meet you, my name is Issei. He spoke, which confused the girl as she thought about an Issei but wanted to check to be safe. What about your surname? She asked as Issei laughed with a nervous smile. Am disowned, my family hates me, Issei said as the girl covered her mouth as she was shocked who could do this, as she then hugged Issei before letting go. Sorry, I was shocked and emotional so I hugged. My name is Alice Tenchi, nice to meet you, Issei, and you're welcome to stay here. My dad found you and my brothers too, so get dressed and meet me outside, Alice said, getting up and leaving as Issei smiled and got up. Partner, are you feeling any better? Drake asked as the other two were asleep and he was changing while his hand was green but yet still black and red. Not sure, Drake, but I hope I can be. How many years do I have anyway? Issei asked as he took off his shirt and pants and began to put on the new ones as suddenly the door opened. Sorry, Issei, I forgot something, Alice said as she then cried as she saw Issei and his body with scars, one his back and his chest and his thighs to major, as well, big enough to be confused for burn marks, but what shocked her more was his black hand and glowing no less. Issei then got the pants on and threw the shirt as he looked at Alice. Please don't talk or ask about these just yet, pretend not to know, Issei said as his was leaking his dominated aura as she nods, and Issei bent down and got up. Did you want this? He asked, giving her a necklace that glowed gold and violet as she smiled. Yes, thank you, it's from my dad, see you soon, and please I'm here, Issei, just don't be afraid, okay? Alice said, worried from the marks as she left, and Issei put on the clothing. He was wearing blue jeans and silver marks in them and a dark red button shirt seeming to be Alice's father's, and Issei wore his black shoes as he looked at the two gray and gold gloves before looking at his hand. Drake, how long with the pieces? Issei spoke, broken, needing to know his life if it was long or short. If we keep them, only years, and without them it's to 0 years if you don't use the Juggernaut drive, Drake explained as Issei thought about the time span as he looked down. However, that's as human as a dragon, it would be 0 to 7,000 years if you're lucky. I'm not sure, to be honest, partner. He spoke as Issei nods, putting the gloves on and walking out the door and pumping into someone. Oh, sorry, Alice? Issei asked as he then looked confused. Issei_Lucifer, again, go see this man's work, it's the best he made, this one, mentioned a user. The woman looked at Issei, who fell on the floor with a smirk, and helped him up. So you're the boy my husband found, nice to meet you, Issei, was it? Alice said, that was your name, and Penemu, her mother. It's nice to meet you, Issei, come with her brothers and my husband want to meet you, she said with a smirk, but as they began to walk, Issei was on guard as he felt a familiarity to her aura like it was a fallen, but Issei brushed it off, still on a guard, as he then was in the living room. Okay, I will be back, talk to you later. Penemu spoke as she left. Issei was in the living room and saw a long black sofa where Alice was sitting while there are pillows are on ground with cards and two guys laying down with one on the pillow and one leaning on the other couch, smaller but still black and comfortable. Hello? Nice to meet you, Issei spoke as the boys looked at her, and Alice jolted up seeing him in new clothes. Oh, so you're up the boy in the woods, nice to meet you, boy said as he smirked, being bored, as Alice got up and slapped the boy over his head. Vala, be nice, Alice yelled as Issei looked confused while boy laughed seeing this. Shut up, Coa, you lost, after all it's not my fault, I'm bored, the boy named Vala yelled as the blue-haired Chow Chow glared at him. Hey, you know I'm bad at poker, he snapped at Issei, looked confused while Alice walked over to him. Are you feeling any better, Issei? I asked Vala what he saw, and now I got worried again. Alice hugging him as he hugged back, but then felt a shiver go down his spine to see Vala and Coa glare at him with anger. Why don't you dare break our sister's heart? Don't go near her, you fool, Vala and Chow Chow yelled as Issei backed up as Alice went red, being embarrassed. Hey, stop you two, please, Alice spoke with her head down as Issei let out a chuckle seeing this sibling bound being so joyous, and he wished he had this growing up, but then he looked at them and seemed confused. Alice, may I ask? I meant your mother, and you don't seem related, am I wrong? Issei asked, feeling ashamed asking, but the three understood as everyone they met asked this as it was normal because they all have different hair and eye colors. Indeed, her brothers we took in and are adopted, and from what Alice told me I can do the same for you, a man spoke, walking in with Penemu next to him. A man spoke, walking in with Penemy next to him. Issei stood confused as the man was offering an adoption for someone he just met. Her was more worried for this man's sanity than his life. Dad, stop, please be normal for once, Alice yelled as the man laughed. I agree, Azazel, our sister knows when you're up to something. Vala spoke as Coa nods while Penemy looked sad and walked to Issei. Issei, was your last name Hayadu? She asked while he looked down and clenched his fist in anger as that confirmed it, shocking Coa and Vala and confusing Alice why they needed to know his last name. Turn on the TV now. Penemy snapped, sparking some of her aura as she then calmed herself as the TV turned on, and what was on made Issei cry and feel like he was going to vomit. He felt bloodlust and feeling to kill. Miki Hayadu found dead in her home with burns and red, black and purple marks near and on her body as her arm was gone, only having pile of ash. The TV turns off. After that everyone looked at Issei but was upset, more so Alice as she saw Issei's scars, and now this whoever caused this will die. Went through everyone's mind until they felt sick as they saw a red aura around Issei. I who is about awaken the heavenly dragon who stole the principles of domination from God. Issei began to speak as everyone was on guard, as that was the chant of the juggernaut drive of the Red Dragon Emperor. I laugh at the infinite, and grieve over the dream I shall become. Before Issei could finish, he felt pain as he turned to see a light spear pierce him, and he was shocked to see it was from Alice. When she had tears in her eyes as he was about to blank out, he heard one thing: I'm sorry, please live. Meanwhile, when all this was happening in the underworld, Grafia and Milicus began packing their things as Surzex tried to stop them. Grafia, please stop, it was a mistake, Rias didn't know this would happen. Surzex snapped as Grafia turned to him. Off, be a king for once. I saw Issei days ago, he had scars on him, for God's sake, and she says he only has pieces. We both know he has 7. Grafia spoke with tears in her eyes as she didn't care about the pain anymore. From God, she knew what she had to do. Surzex, Lucifer, I am getting a divorce, and I lost all respect for you as you don't deserve, as you trust Issei, but you don't think your sister could lie. Until you gain my trust, you won't see our son. Grafia yelled as Surzex was shocked and hurt, feeling so many things go through his mind. Why should Rias lie? Whereas Issei is this why she needed new pieces? Could those marks be from power of destruction? Why Rias? Why I need to find Issei? He matters more. I'm a fool. All went through his head. Grafia, I agree, I don't deserve you because of this, but I, the Devil King, make you a free devil as long as you keep our child safe, and once either of us find Issei, he and Milicus are first. Surzex spoke as Grafia for a second saw the man she loved again, as now he was torn between being played with by his family, or doing what's right, and she knows he is wrong for once. Of course, Lord Lucifer, and farewell, I will live here once we find Issei because he needs us. Grafia spoke as she and Milicus left, leaving Surzex to cry, knowing he needs to act like a king, and to stop being a guard for Rias, and her problems because of him as well. A boy lost his family this day. That's all for this chapter, guys. I hope you enjoy, and check out both Issei_Lucifer and Crimson, both helped with this story. None of us dragons do things alone, and check their newest work, it's great. Until then, Dragon Army. This will be will info on Vala, Issei, and Ciao Ciao. Before, no gear yet knowledge and powers of magic and friends with powerful gears, and rude to those thinking power is all when to others he nice, unlike the original story. Before, no gear yet knowledge and powers of magic and friends with powerful gears, and rude to those thinking power is all when to others he nice, unlike the original story. Before, no gear yet knowledge and powers of magic and friends with powerful gears, and rude to those thinking power is all when to others he nice, unlike the original story. After, holds a copy of True Longinus linked to Issei, and can use its full power besides Balance Breaker. He is half dragon, half human. After asking Issei to let stay human, and yet he was given a stronger body and brother bond with Issei and Vala even more than before in this new dragon body. He is half dragon, half human. After asking Issei to let stay human, and yet he was given a stronger body and brother bond with Issei and Vala even more than before in this new dragon body. Before, grandson of Rise of him Lucifer and half human, thus proper heir to the Lucifer name. He has friends and teammates of the Chaos Brigade like Coa, but his team, unlike his, has been like Biko and Kuroka and Holy Sword user author. He feels close to them and sometimes lets his sister in arms join in missions, as well as fighting against Vala's fellow Satans, as he thinks they only want power, thus he hides Ophis from them. He feels close to them and sometimes lets his sister in arms join in missions, as well as fighting against Vala's fellow Satans, as he thinks they only want power, thus he hides Ophis from them. After, Vala now has a copy of the Divine Dividing and can talk to Albion and Issei through links. He is 0% human, 0% dragon, and 0% devil, as he wanted to be as strong as Issei, and now be named strong just for being a Satan. He can use all powers, even Juggernaut Drive, but unlike issei's, his has a limit, and he can't hold the Juggernaut Drive for longer than an hour or so unless he practices his strength. He can use all powers, even Juggernaut Drive, but unlike issei's, his has a limit, and he can't hold the Juggernaut Drive for longer than an hour or so unless he practices his strength. Issei normal with some in the hair. His power concealed as he sealed his gear powers and magic together on his body. While he can make much stronger forms or magic techniques, he can learn to get stronger BU's sealing power. He views Vala and Coa as family rivals and more. While unsure how to feel about Alice, she is a fallen, and seems so much like Rainier. He can control the fall in this form as he isn't using his power, thus he can still live and fight. He can control the fall in this form as he isn't using his power, thus he can still live and fight. Issei unconcealed. He lets his hair be white, has Albion dividing power is not used, so he is fighting for his life and he looks completely different, like a composed warrior. He has a dagger of holy and dragon power in his side pocket. He made unlike Dragon Slayer power, it will feel like the dragon itself. While his sword is either on his back or in his gear, while he hides his dragon wings. But this form gives the fall more accused to the body, making him have more weak points. However, as he became this state, which is 0% devil, 78% dragon, and % human for now, as he wants to find a cure for the fall before being full dragon, as a full dragon could die faster. But this form gives the fall more accused to the body, making him have more weak points. However, as he became this state, which is 0% devil, 78% dragon, and % human for now, as he wants to find a cure for the fall before being full dragon, as a full Drago. Dragon Issei. Unlike most, this is a mix between organic and his armor as Issei, and his self of emotions becoming a physical armor unable to be broken, unlike in the past. He has replica and drag at full power in the state, giving said glow as he doesn't use Albion's power unlike the other two or the true Longinus, as he can outclass his foe's offense and defense in this form. Boost, death, divide, life. Replica. What is the point of it all? It's been a few days since Issei passed out after almost using the Juggernaut Drive and everyone was worried. Vala and Coa have tried to comfort Alice, but she feels guilty about stabbing him so he could live. While Azazel and Penamir have got suits, dresses and other formal clothing for the funeral for Mickey, as they knew Issei would go even if they hated him. As the days passed, Drake and Albion began informing Vala and Azazel about all Issei went through, from abuse from his father due to lies or misunderstandings thanks to his brother, killed by Rainier, and made sure that he stayed dead by his brother locking him still, being kicked out of the peerage and his family, and last the dragon fall. As they heard all these things, they began to become even more furious, and Azazel especially, who knew Serzex was there for his sister, but this is too much for that fool. They don't know that Sex cares for Issei. Issei kiddo, I hope you wake up soon, Azazel said as he got up to leave, as he was done checking up on Issei. However, as he reached for the door but heard something drop, and then again and more times, as he then turned to see it was Issei's pawn pieces. Expect they are now black, fitting for the heart of the king. Ugh, what happened? Issei said as he got up out of bed confused, and Azazel was left shocked as he saw Issei. What happened? Issei said as he got up out of bed confused, and Azazel was left shocked as he saw Issei. Just without the shirt. Kid, is that you? Azazel asked as Issei nods when he slowly got up and his back and hand glowed. Partner, you're awake, it seems the pieces kept you asleep. Albion spoke as Dryag chuckled. Of course he is awake, he is our brother by the way. Issei, look in the mirror, this look is with those seals of yours taken off, you can put them back on, and it might change the look, or power. Drake explained as Issei looked, and was shocked seeing his new look. If you say so, but I got to admit I wish I slept longer, I hate them, I hate them. She was our mother, and he killed her, that fool, his aura is on her, and once I see the body I will tell if his scent is there. Issei spoke with a growl as he glowed silver and dark red as he placed the seals to hide his power and looks. Issei spoke with a growl as he glowed silver and dark red as he placed the seals to hide his power and looks. This should work, and I hope Vala won't mind me using his white shirt. Issei said as he then was hugged by Azazel as he smiled. I'm okay, Dad or Sensei, whatever works, but please let's just go to the funeral, or I will go alone. Issei said as he broke the hug, but before he could say anything his door crashed down as the others all came in hearing Issei. Oh hell no, family sticks together, we're going to, don't even try to stop us, Red Dragon or not. They yelled as Issei stepped back in shocked and slight fear as he saw Alice shift into Rainier, and then herself, but he shook his head and looked at them with a sad smile. Thanks guys, but Gremory would sense you, at least all of you, so how does of you sound? And since humans with magic can blend in COA you come no matter what. Issei says as everyone looks at each other as Azazel walks out. So you would know me as I'm a leader, while my darling wife you chose to not rival her to other factions, and besides Vala is half devil yet he can hide it, and I have a hunch Azarela would want to be there with you. Azazel SSYS as Alice blushes, turning to her father. Damn you crow, don't say my fallen name, it's embarrassing. She spoke as Issei blushed and chuckled, seeing her cute yet angry face. Note, half the supernatural know her fallen name, so when I say Alice or Azarela it's the same person. POV the funeral. As Issei and the others walked to the site of the funeral they tried to hide their anger. Alice wore a black dress with white flowers and white heels. Penemu wore a similar outfit but black heels and red instead of white. Vala chose to wear his same outfit as he didn't care, since it was people who were cold and spoiled fools worse than his old Satan friends. While Chow Chow wore a black suit, a blue tie and cold design on his pants and black shoes. While Issei wore a black suit and white shirt with a red tie and gold and black boots and black pants. So Issei, what will we do once we get there? Vala asked as he was confused why he even went, as he then got hit in the head by COA as he glares at him. Think Vala, Issei hates them, but he wants to say goodbye to the one who cared for him, so maybe don't kill today. Chow Chow as Vala was unsure but agreed. Can you both shut up? Issei, honey, are you okay? You've been looking at your right arm most of the way here? Penemu asked as Issei and Alice stayed silent until he looked up. Sorry, I was using Replica and his knowledge to use the Holy Grail, or at least a copy of it, to find my mother's soul. Issei spoke as all looked at him, shocked as Alice looked at him in the eyes. Did you find her? She asked as Issei still was sad about going but nods as he knew he had to see if it was them. That's great. Alice says, hugging him as she was so happy but looked at saw him sad as backed up. What's wrong? Well, I can't make her a new body without her blood, and you need help drawing my blood to make her a new body. Issei explained as they understood and stopped as they arrived with not many people there, but of course the demons were. Issei felt cold as he tried to ignore the words of both past hosts to use the drive, but he knew blocking them off was to get stronger, and he can't kill them yet even if it hurt. He saw his father look down, and his brother holding Rias' hand, yet their eyes weren't red from crying, they were normal, while Asia cried and Akino held her close. Hello Gora Hayada, correct, I'm sorry for your loss. Issei said as his father looked up and saw him eye to eye, as the man had no clue who this man was but yet was scared. Thank you, and who are you by chance? He asked as Issei just looked at his mother's remains before looking away with one tear falling from his eye, as he didn't want to seem weak. Not now, not yet. My name isn't important, but I would say your wife is lucky she finally is away from you after all, being the man who abused his own son until he drew blood and saw bone. How could she love you? Mistake. Issei spoke with full venom as his eyes glowed blue and emerald green, showing his dragon emotion as Grendel let go of Rias and walked up to Issei. Hey, who are you to say that? He yelled as Issei clenched his fist as the scent of the attack, and he could tell from his fist alone. None of your business, pawn. Alice spoke as she walked in front of Issei and slapped Grendel to the ground with holy oars around her hand, letting his face burn. You're lucky, you deserve death, but that's mercy. We saw you do it, so grieve if you want, murderer. Vala said, walking off, as Issei felt sick as he smelled the same scent on Rias and Gren and Asia. Seems like they had making him want to puke and cry as the fall got stronger along with his hate. Yo, let's go bro, I'm smelling something. Oh wait, it's just bitch. Chow Chow said as he helped Issei leave, while Penemu just glared and took some blood as nobody noticed, while everyone wondered who the hell were they to Mickey, while Gren got angry as he thought he wasn't seen and he wanted Alice, she will be his. POV with Issei. As everyone left, they took a short cut through the woods as they saw Issei had trouble walking, and Vala went to help him as the fall got worse. Yo Issei, I forgot to ask, who is Silence? Vala asked as he heard Issei yell on night, as Issei looked down feeling cold, trying to warm up from the pain. She always said she wanted to regain that silence. It was a friend of mine, she never gave her name, but she was the only one who cared for me back then, Issei said with a sad smile as Vala is stunned and walks to the others. He couldn't know her, right? If so, Ophis, what did you do? Vala thought to himself. As they are almost home, Issei suddenly stops as he feels sorrow and pain, like someone is calling him. Drag Albion, did you two hear that? Issei asked, only for his dragons to be silent for momentarily. Yes, Issei, but go before we can't find them. The two yell as Issei looks at the others and runs into the woods as his dragon sense is calling him. As he runs more and more, he hears it again and again. Help me find me please, only for it to sound cold like he was frozen in fear or ice until he slams into something falling down. Ouch girl, what is this? Issei said as he saw a flickering building from invisible to not, which was strange. Seems like a place hidden to all but dragons. Albion spoke. Indeed, but where is the door? Drake spoke until Issei saw a hole of darkness that was remaining the same, and he assumed it was the broken door. I found the door, Drake, give me a boost, I think this has a barrier. Issei spoke as he unsealed his power partly and boosted X to stay hidden and rushed into the door only to break the wall as well and fall on a slick surface. Issei, look ahead, the two dragons yelled as Issei got up and was shocked to see a girl with long purple hair and orange-eyed with S silver nightgown being all she is wearing and a look of fear as she is frozen in violet ice. What the hell? Issei spoke, looking all around the ice, finding any way to fix or free her when he got an idea. Drake, how about flame break? Issei asked as Albion was confused while Drake smirked. Good idea, making your brother's idea of dress break into a normal dragon and powerful spell, but be careful, you must focus on the ice. Drake spoke with pride and Issei yet worried as he could have the fall spread if he continues. Got it, but keep watch. Issei says, placing his hand on the ice, boosting and spreading his crimson wings as his eyes glow green and until he reaches boost of 0. Okay, flame break. Issei says, keeping his hand on the ice and snapping his other hand's fingers to break it and turn it to nothing as the smoke clears and the girl is on the ground. Okay, I got to take her to Azazel or Penemu, they can help. Issei says, making a magic circle to them as he leaves, carrying the woman as a familiar blonde and white-hair girl watched from behind in shocked. POV Hide home. Rias and the others were furious as everyone else grieved her and Gren were found out by whoever, so fools were let alone for some reason. Issei is now lost, like his pieces are dead, and even if he died she could find them, but now it's the opposite. While Gren wanted to kill whoever that was for making a fool of him, and he wanted that girl, she seemed more beautiful than Akino and rivaled Rias, yet she was with a guy who seemed deadly. He needs to kill him, but how? Is all Gren could think as he touched his face to feel the burn of that slap, as he then went to a mirror and looked at his burns and growled in anger. I swear you fools will pay. He spoke in pure rage as he went to see a picture of him, Issei and his parents as kids, and snapped, throwing it against the wall, but the glass cut his hand, confusing him. How is he so unlucky, let alone weak? Gren, are you okay? Rias asked as she walked to him as she saw the broken photo, and his face after the slap got her worried. I'm fine, let's just find my brother and his pieces so we get what we have earned. He spoke in a voice of rage yet emptiness. POV Azazel home. Everyone was waiting yet worried where Issei could be, as they were with him 1 minute then gone the next. Everyone was worried, but they knew Issei would be okay, yet Alice was panicked. She wanted him to be okay. As they were waiting, a magic circle formed to show Issei holding a young woman, confusing everyone. Azazel, please take care of here, she was frozen in ice. Issei spoke as he then felt a shiver go down his spine. Issei dear, where were you and why do you have a girl with you? Alice spoke with her red eyes sending a shiver down everyone's spine while Penemu was giggling at her daughter's actions. Alice, she called me, it's a gear or something, and she was frozen to the point of no magic, no nothing, that's why I left. Issei explained as Alice calmed down. Fine, I guess you're right. Alice spoke as everyone felt at ease. You know, that was kinda cute seeing you like that, guess it was the dragon in me. Issei said, embarrassed as Alice went red while Chow Chow and Violet glared. Hey, get over here, Issei, time to die, you made our sister a tomato. The two yelled as Issei then ran with the two behind him as the other couldn't help but laugh. Come on, stop, I need my ribs. Issei yelled as he was trying to run faster to keep his body safe. Partner dragon or not, good luck. Drake said, laughing. I agree with Drake, but we will be playing poker in your head. Albion spoke, giving Issei a headache. God damn it. Issei spoke as the sun set. POV the next day. Issei got up tired but in some pain as the fall had slowed down, and it was Replica, how are you doing? Issei asked as his gear formed. Good, just have something to tell you about your idea for the gears. He spoke as Issei listened. You see, you need to first seal the emotions of the host, then you can make your changes, while for the spear I would say make a copy, or a fall mode as light needs darkness. Remember I told you all this when we first trained. Replica spoke as Issei understood with the being going to sleep. I still wonder how he knows all this stuff. Maybe he is, never mind, time to get them up. Issei spoke as he went to Vala and COA room and smirked, opening the door and summoning the gear. Dragon shot grenade. Issei yelled, throwing it in the room and closing the door as it exploded, waking the house up. As everyone went the room, they saw Vala and Chow Chow up with smoke all over them, and they couldn't help but laugh to the annoyance of the two until they saw each other and did the same. Haha, okay, now that you're up, time for school, guys. While the others grieve, it's the best chance for us to go, and we will be using your last name, Azazel, while I will use both in the name of my mother. Issei explained, as he still needs to get her body made to be dragon before bringing her back, but ready to plan his future. Replica gears aren't just one reality. I still don't get why we have to wear these clothes. Vala spoke as the four left, with Alice chuckling as her clothes were the only ones good while the boys needed to change. Vala spoke as the four left, with Alice chuckling as her clothes were the only ones good while the boys needed to change. Val, Chow Chow, Chow Chow. The two looked at each other as they were outside the gate, and tired, not used to going to school, but worse, they knew there were pervs and the orcs, so Issei and Alice need them, or else there would be a bloodbath. No! Alice, let me go. The two boys turned to see Alice trying to pull Issei out from hiding. No! Alice, let me go. The two boys turned to see Alice trying to pull Issei out from hiding. Issei, come on Issei, it's not hell, you and Vala have been there, so stop please, or I will use a secret weapon. Alice spoke, annoyed and tired, as Issei looked confused. True, he was in hell for a day for the Surzex to fight Riser, but that's it. There are pervs, I'm not going because I know you won't. If I don't, no one goes near what a dragon. Issei cut himself off by covering his mouth with his hands as he went red, and so did Alice as Vala and Chow Chow chuckled, choosing to watch and not to intervene. Fine then, I will eat. Alice spoke as Vala pushed her and laughed as she WSS on top of Issei, both in a questionable position as they both acidity at making them both red as they jolted up, with Chow Chow laughing and Vala happy his plan worked, but then felt a shiver down his spine as he turned slowly to see the glare of Issei and Alice. Get running, Lucifer. Alice spoke in a serious tone. Or today will be your first and last day of school and life. Issei spoke as Vala was scared. Vala, run, you fool! Chow Chow yelled as Vala ran inside the gate as Alice and Issei gave him a 10-second head start while they were watched by students. Hey, who's that, cuties? Girl asked, seeing Vala run. Not sure, but let's see. Girl said as Vala then stopped as they were in front of him, and he knew he needed to ask someone where his class was. Hello, what's your name? The girls asked as Vala stopped and went to catch his breath. My name is Vala Lu Tenchi, Vala Tenchi. He spoke, remembering he is supposed to have the same last name as Alice. Nice to meet you, my name Murayama, and Kates, we are a part of the Kendo Club. Murayama said as she smirked, while Vala groaned, seeing that this school seems to either have pervs or sluts. Vala! Two people yelled as Vala went pale, turning to see Issei and Alice behind him in anger, with COA tired. Sorry, tried to stop them, but our sister is stubborn as dad with his science. Chow Chow spoke, making the three chuckle as Issei looked pissed, seeing who was there in front of him, including the student council not far from them along with the perverted duo. Can we just get going? There is on one here to talk to. Issei spoke as he was about to walk away. He stopped. Era, who are you, cutie? A voice that felt like light spears in his chest to Issei spoke as Issei turned to see Akino, Kiba, and Koneko. Don't talk to me, bitch, you. Before Issei could finish, Alice held his hand, trying to calm him down, but he then felt warmth as he looked to see Kiba and Koneko hug him, shocking everyone. We missed you, Issei. Kiba spoke as everyone was shocked but the group, as this redhead was hired in no way. He was hot and muscular while Issei was a perv and brunette. Hey guys, I've missed you too. Issei says, hugging them back before letting go a few seconds later, glaring at Akino. So what do you want? I'm not joining the club, and if you tell Rias I'm here, her brother will kill her, as he trusts me, not her, because at least I'm not a murderer. Issei roared, shocking Co-Academy as they all looked at the group talk as Issei held his tears back. If I were you, I would leave. Unlike you, he grieves, so back off, or you will see no tomorrow, no light, no peace. Chow Chow and Vala spoke as they stepped in front of Issei, so Akino and the others couldn't go to him as he left, showing he needed to let out his sorrow, while Alice was about to leave but looked at Akino and clenched her fist. You know, fallen or not, you are a disgrace to both devil and fallen angels. To think you were half human, you clearly weren't. Now if wish a fallen afraid to show one or two wings can't beat a fallen pure of blood with wings that protect her love. Alice spoke loud enough for only Akino, Vala, Chow Chow, Kiba, and Koneko could hear as she left with her two brothers in arms. POV Issei, as he trusts me, not her, and because I'm not a murderer unlike her. Issei yelled as he walked away and went to an empty classroom, ignoring anyone trying to talk to him as they aren't worth his time, but as he got there he was the only one there, and he felt like he needed to let it out. Partner, as much as you think dragons can't cry, let it out, brother. You've held it in for days. Issei, you can't anymore. Drake spoke as Issei knew he was right. BB, but she was my mother, my brother, the woman I loved killed her. If I didn't have a gear or live in the first place, none of this would have happened. My mom would still be alive, and now I'm trying to make her a dragon. It could kill her soul. It's too risky. I am fool. Drake, why did Rias and RUINEDDRAGONARMY have to do this to me? I lost my family because of them, because I was born. Issei let put, finally able to cry, feeling all the emotions he locked away since he began to fall. Issei, it's not your fault, it's theirs. They are demons, fools who have no heart. You are the opposite. Hey, maybe try that song you were working on, partner. It could help you calm down. Drake spoke as Issei smirked, thinking he was right, and as he was about to sing, the others watched from outside. Sean Mena stitches top, in my opinion. Issei felt a small weight off his shoulders as he sang, feeling his heart race, and yet finally feeling calm. Even if some of the fall began to act up even more, he didn't care. He was finally calm. That was beautiful. Someone spoke as Issei turned, shocked to see Alice, Vala, and Coa with smiles on their faces. Thanks guys, let's head to class and show Ko who we are. Issei spoke with a smirk as his eyes glowed as the group nods. But what about the orc? Won't they know about us and make us join the club? Chow Chow asked as they looked at him, making a good point as he was the only human of the group, yet he was one of the smartest. He has point. How about we think for a few days about it at home? Vala asked as the group agrees as they leave and head to class. Wait, what's class is yours, Issei? Chow Chow asked as he looked where he needed to go. Why? Issei asked, curious as Coa paled looking for the others to see. They go with Issei. The fam splits. I go to a. Looks like I will see you guys at lunch. Bye guys. Chow Chow says with smirk, running to class. Don't know what's the different. That's what I found for the classrooms. Blame Wiki. Why do you think he is in a different class? Alice asked as Issei smirked. Probably because of his backstory we gave him of being in America, and his grades. Issei said as he found it funny thinking of how people eat up intel, and lies like a starved animal needing food or a dragon on the hunt. As the three talk and make their way to class, they bump into someone heading to their class. Oh, sorry kiddo. The man says as he and Issei fall, only to show Azazel as the man. Dad. Why are you here? Mom said no to spying on us. Alice spoke, pulling her father's hair in anger while the two boys chuckled. Hey, not the hair. I'm a substitute teacher. Your class knows I'm here. Azazel spoke as Alice let go, and he and Issei got up. Whatever, you two let us know when we can come in. Vala said as Azazel went in class while the three continued to talk. POV in class. As the door opened, all the students kept talking and feeling bad for Issei and Grendel after seeing the news of Mickey Hayate's death, yet Athera thought Issei deserved it. Okay class, settle down. I'm your substitute teacher Azazel. Pleasure. And now before we get to the lesson, we have 3 students, new students, and a returning one. You can come in now. Azazel spoke as he yelled, making the class become shocked silent to listen as 3 students entered. Okay, now introduce yourselves. Azazel spoke while the girls looked at Issei and Vala while guys looked at Alice. Hello, my Vala Tenchi. I went to Italy for a while to study, then come back home to finish in Co. Vala spoke, glaring at the guys looking at Alice. Hello, my name is Alice Tenchi. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am transferring here from London with my grandparents, and Dad, who you see now. Alice spoke, gesturing to Azazel as Issei began step forward. First, stop looking at Alice. She is my girlfriend, so for S sake you pervs stop or die. Issei spoke, making the men go pale. While my name you all know well, the former perverted beast of Ko, who you all thought was a fool, yet I'm nothing of the sort, Issei Hayate, but I now go by Issei Hayate Tenchi. Issei spoke as everyone expected. Azazel, Alice, and Vala looked shocked that Issei is back, let alone claiming not to be a pervert. What the hell are these lies? You can't be telling the truth. Kates yelled as the pervs got up in anger. Yeah bro, what happened? Why you leave bro before ho, you fool? Matsuda yelled as Motohama didn't get up, his arm still hurt, and almost broke due to last time talking to Issei. Ugh, just go sit down Issei, you know where, and you two can sit in front or next to Issei. Azazel spoke as Issei sat down, glaring at those who looked at him, while he sat down and Vala smirked, sitting next to him, giving the love mates to sit close as Alice sat in front of him. Okay, now get to the lesson. Azazel spoke as he began to teach. Issei felt weird and thought to ask. Replica? Was that you? He asked as he tried to find Drake or Albion, but couldn't find his spear. Yes and no partner, I will explain more later, but first, are you ready for your plan to start? The being asked as issei smirked. Yep, now once I get back I'm skipping, it's time to start the true Imperial project. Issei thought with a smirk as he then focused on his lesson while he was worried where Drake and Albion went. POV hours later. The bell rang as it was now break period and everyone was ready for lunch while Issei was under the tree that started everything as he heard footsteps and looked up to see Chow Chow and Val. Yo, what's up guys? Issei asked as they sat down. We want to join you and become dragons. Vala spoke, shocking Issei as he looked to Coa, the human of the family. We want to keep you and Alice safe and we are viewed as our blood and race along, so now it's us together, not even the fall will kill us. Chow Chow declared with a smirk as Issei shed a tear, happy to hear this. I agree, I will love you forever. Alice spoke, shocking Issei as she hugged him from behind as he was still afraid he loved her. But what about Rias and Rainier? They killed him because of love. I love you too, Alice. I'm just afraid after what they did. Issei spoke as they knew he was meaning Rias and Rainier, and they realized how broke his heart was. No need to rush, I will wait forever. Alice spoke as Issei's hand glowed green. Issei, I have news about your lifespan currently. Drake spoke as Issei finally was able to hear him after hours. After the Juggernaut drive was almost used and you gained the fall, you almost lost all your human life, and if it wasn't for not finishing the chant thanks to Alice and your own will, you have a 000 years left, but that's if the fall still is there. If you beat it then 000, but you still have a while. Drake spoke, explaining everything as everyone felt a weight off their shoulders seeing how long Issei has left, and Issei got up ready to leave. Thanks Drake, and tell Albion thanks for help delaying the fall. Now since I have a while until Gremory gets here, I have time for my plan. Alice, I will be gone for a few days, don't worry, I will stay home, let's just say I will be busy. Issei spoke as he walked up to Alice as she went red, seeing the determined and brave look on his face. Issei, Alice spoke as Issei went to and bite her neck to her shock and her brother's confusion. I see Quinn? Alice spoke as Issei broke from Alice as her neck glowed, showing a mark. Alice spoke as Issei went to and bite her neck to her shock and her brother's confusion. I see Quinn? Alice spoke as Issei broke from Alice as her neck glowed, showing a mark. That is the mark, but more red for Issei, marking her. I will no longer be afraid, I will face my fears because I love you, and once you're ready let me know, because one more mark to make us official, besides we live in the same house so it won't be impossible. Issei spoke with a chuckle as he left for home, leaving the two boys speechless on what they saw. Dad might kill him once he finds the mark, the boys said as Issei left through a circle. POV Issei. A magic circle opens at the Tenchi home with Issei walking out and closing it and walking in, heading to the kitchen. Hello Issei, how are you doing today? Penemu asked, seeing him home early, a little confused but happy because of a smile on his face. Good, just got some busy work to do so I will be out of school for a while, but may I ask something, Penemu? Issei spoke, becoming serious as Penemu noticed and did the same. May I be Alice's mate? And Hermione, I think you wouldn't mind, but please tell Azazel I will be busy for 3 days and I am scared right now for some reason. Issei spoke as the fallen mother laughed while getting a sandwich for the two of them and a cold drink for herself. Issei, it's normal, and of course I will be happy for you to be her mate, but I want grandkids. She spoke, making Issei go crimson as he just grabbed his sandwich and ran to his room while Penemu still laughed. As Issei went to his room, he put up a barrier as he summoned the boosted gear, the replica gear, and a book from his bag with drawings and blueprints for evil pieces, but with the name True Imperial pieces with many different ways to make them, and a large X on a page showing the process of using his old devil wings and divided energy to make them, only to form a pile of ash with a warning. Issei wrote it in divide and condensed devil power, only side effect major loss of magic for 3 weeks. Okay, now that we have school settled, let's get busy, Issei said as he placed a few barriers on his door so he can focus on his work. First step, let's try building them with energy alone. Issei spoke as he began to focus, letting out a red and an orange aura, almost amber, as he looked at his book and began slowly forming them into the shape of the pawn pieces with his energy, and a sketch to keep its shape. As he tried to focus, he began to make one piece at a time, and used the claws of his gears to hold it still. Issei tried dividing it or using the spear to keep focus. Albion spoke. Issei kept focus even as some of his gear and own body began to crack like scales. No, I need to focus on my own power first. If it goes wrong then I will, but the spear is for the king piece, I must stay standing. Issei spoke as he began to try and carve and form the other 7 pawns after making one while fighting the voices of the past host in his mind. Damn Drake, boost my power, I need to focus, the pawns are about to break, and Albion, spread your wings and try to keep them from blowing up. Issei spoke as they did as told. When Issei moved on to his knight pieces and using the spear to help its focus, he made those much faster than the pawns with promotion. But the more Issei made, the harder Drake, Albion and him had to focus, and knowing this, Issei grabbed the still unstable king, queen, bishops, and rooks pieces, and used all his focus, placing them in his hands as they glowed green, blue, and amber, forming pieces complete. I pan and know we did it. Issei spoke, tired. Indeed / hell yeah, partner. The two spoke as Issei was about to put away his gears. He heard a crack and turned to see his pieces slowly break and merge. Oh! The three yelled as it blew up and left only his book of research, left no pieces as Issei fell to the floor. Damn it, no! I thought I did it great, just great. Issei yelled as he slowly got up and wrote in his book, pure power and focus fails and leaves body broken and crack if I can't contain it. After he wrote, he fell to his bed, making a phoenix tear with replica to heal himself as his scales and skin was fixed, but his gears need rest. Damn, guess I have one day done. I have to rest or else I will use life force instead. Issei spoke as he went and grabbed what's left of his sandwich, eating before resting. However, Issei tried to sleep but couldn't as he saw it was now 8:07 p.m. after the pieces, but the past host tried to take control, so he need to stay up. POV Alice while Issei was working. Okay, ready to go home, guys? Vala asked as the three waited for Azazel with Alice nervous. Can we go now and COA Vala, will Dad kill Issei? Alice asked, still rubbing her mark as she smiled, and the two looked at her. No, he won't, sis, but go home and be ready to warn Issei. Dad will go all out. He is protective of all of us, even Issei now. Chow Chow spoke as the little fall smiled and could help but spread her feathers and hover a little bit before going to the ground. Still the same as a kid, you little raven. Vala teased, ruffling his sister's hair as the three laughed, and Alice went home, leaving her brothers to wait for Azazel. While Alice made her way home, she felt like she was being watched and kept walking for a while as she kept hearing the steps behind her. Great, someone must be after Issei. Alice thought. As no human was around, she went left into an alleyway as the person then rushed after her, but Alice was too fast. AMD, once the person entered, she was gone. Era, great, now I need to know what else she meant. Akino said as she was hunting Alice, still sore about that fallen remark, until she felt a shiver go down her spine as a barrier formed. Now, Akino, the daughter of Barakil, shouldn't be scared. My seems like you haven't heard, honey? Alice spoke as Akino turned to see blinding gold and silver light with red sparks and a figure with beaming red eyes of death. Akino was now in fear, never feeling this much power from a fallen angel before. I am Azrael, the one you shouldn't mess with, hybrid who hides her name and pride. Azrael, aka Alice yelled as she pointed her dagger, and unlike other fallens and Akino, she had light and flames to her name, which made her even more feared as he burns leave a scar of hell. Before Akino could try to leave or attack, Azrael knocked her out and stabbed her in the gut, keeping her alive but in pain, along with hitting her over her head. Sigh, I hate doing this, the blood just makes me want to fight and kill more, but they pissed me off so karma. She says as she heard people coming and felt devils, so she teleported home in a circle and hid her power once again. Akino! Some voice said, which seemed to be worried but angry. To Alice's confusion, before she was fully home, she saw a little kid near the hybrid, but with that she then was home and saw her dad and Vala while COA was resting, making her run to them. Hey, what's up? She asked as they turned and went pale, seeing blood, knowing someone pissed off the red shadow. Well, Issei is in his room, either pissed or busy, because there is a barrier and I can't open it. Azazel spoke, a mix between angry and happy because he is a leader, yet he can't break it without making devils show up. Seems Issei got a lot of potential. Well, we can always think Issei will work or rest, but he has goals ahead, am I right, my dear Azraela? Penemu spoke, making her daughter go red as she hid her mark, not fast enough for her to hide it from her father though, as the boys laughed at what happened while Azazel ran at barrier trying to break it until he got in the room. Issei, get out here, how dare you mark my daughter, you will pay. Azazel yelled as the boys couldn't stop laughing as Penemu got out some alcohol and walked to her husband, while Alice got embarrassed and began to calm down her headache. Honey, calm down. She spoke to her husband, still trying to break the door. But he marked my little Alice. Azazel spoke, not angry, confused, because he wanted Issei to live, and he thought they could be a good couple, but he is still a father. Any father cares for their child, or should in Issei's previous case. I know, but admit you think they could work now, relax. Penemu spoke as Azazel sighed and drank with her while Alice finally felt free since they aren't saying embarrassing things now. Haha, so how long has issei been in there? Coa spoke as he and Vala finally stopped laughing as they pulled out their phones. It's right now, maybe he will come out for dinner? Vala trying to think until they heard a large explosion breaking the barrier. Come on! They spoke as they rushed in trying to get in, but it took about 10 minutes for the barrier to fully break, and they got in to see issei on his bed. I see, what were you doing? Alice yelled as issei jolted up confused as he thought it was 8 almost 9, so why are they still wide awake? I was busy testing something, but what time is it, and why do I see 2 Valis yet no Coa? Issei spoke, confusing everyone as Alice looked at his clock. Issei darling, it's shocked, what time do you think it was when we came in? Alice spoke worried as she saw a vial of Phoenix tears near him. 8-7? Last I checked, seems this version of my test not just hurt my body but also my vision. Issei spoke quickly, writing it down before he forgets. Issei, your vision will be like that until tomorrow morning, sorry partner. Drake spoke sad. Indeed I tried, but we couldn't divide it enough. I guess we can't rush this test, so I guess it's all our faults. Albion spoke. Everyone looked at issei to see him tired as they then felt a chill. Everyone out, mom, I will eat in here if that will be alright, and issei don't you dare do any more tests while I am in here. Alice roared as everyone looked at her afraid, even issei, as they agreed while Penemu laughed and was proud her daughter is being like her when she leads. What, why were you late? Coa asked as issei looked at Alice until she summoned her daggers. Leaving. Coa said as he ran away, and Penemu placed down 2 plates of spaghetti for the couple as she then closed the door. A few moments of silence passed before Alice helped issei up to not just eat but to see if he is hurt. Hey, I'm fine and I can eat, it's just a spell feedback, that's all. Issei spoke as he held Alice's hand before looking into her eyes and finding sorrow. Issei, if I tell you this, please be calm. Alice spoke as he was afraid but nods. That girl Akino is half-fallen angel. I could tell she is the daughter of someone I view as an uncle. While she tried to follow me and get info, I fought her and knocked her out easily, but I think your brother if he finds me. Alice spoke before she felt disgusted until a large burst of aura was let out as issei roared and an amber aura was around him as his eyes were 2 colors, emerald and silver for one and silver and blue for the other, as he felt like his skin was about to burn away. Alice, I promise you in the name of the Red Dragon Emperor he won't, because if he does I will end his petty and foolish life. Issei spoke as he yelled before calming down as his eyes turned back to normal. I promise you I will save you no matter what, he said as the 2 looked at each other only for Alice to spread her feathers and mark issei on his neck as he spread dragon wings that were amber and blood red crimson, forming a scarlet color with his energy. After Alice lets go, the mark looks similar to hers except more blue and silver, showing not her fallen side but her heart is that of a true angel, unless angered. My someone was happy. Issei teased as the 2 sat down to eat, but not before Alice felt something on the floor and looked down to pale as she moved it under issei's bed, because what it was as they ate was issei's pawn piece, and under it were the other 6 still black but yet almost glowing amber like issei. POV the Hayate house. As issei and the others ran test or trained, the Hayate house did nothing as Gora stayed home or at work, while Rias and Grendel, not caring anymore, made love time and time again, while Asia was tempted to join but just watched. But this last time before they could finish the deed, the doorbell rang. As Asia got the door, the 2 got dressed. Damn Rias, we almost had fun. Gren spoke as Rias laughed as she licked her lips. As the 2 put on a simple outfit, they ran down to see Graphia, Milicus and Akino, who was passed out and bleeding. Akino! Rias yelled as she went to her, but Graphia blocked her and punched her to the floor, making her spit blood and show her rage. Before Rias could finish, Graphia froze Rias' hands. Don't say my name, me and your brother are ashamed of you, and now we came to find issei. After all, because of you we lost him and our marriage. Graphia spoke, leaving as she saw Gren with no shirt, only pants, showing Rias only cared for him, so she didn't care anymore as her and her son left, not speaking anymore. Asia, what happened? Gren spoke as Rias was still stuck. I don't know, maybe it was from a stray, Graphia never said. The former nun said as Gren was angry, storming away as Rias slowly tried to free herself. POV back to issei. It's been a few hours since dinner, and the 2 mates were still in the room until Alice felt tired. Alice, get to bed, you need it. Issei spoke as Alice looked said. You sure? She asked as issei laughed. Of course, now sleep. He spoke as Alice left, letting issei rest until his gear formed on his right when he went to sleep, having a strange red glow to it. Okay, now that Issei is asleep, let's see how I can help with his research? Replica spoke as he began to think for a while until he grinned in the rear. Got just a plan, sorry Drake Albion, this is my plan, you three won't know yet. He spoke as the red glow went to the boosted gear as Replica left, and the boosted gear formed on Issei, turning black and gold with red in it until it faded to normal. Hello? Kai? A voice asked, confused until he faded as the gear's colors went to normal. POV the next day. As the others got up, Alice noticed how her siblings were still getting ready, so she went to go check on Issei to see if his vision got any better. Knock knock, hello Issei, are you up? Alice asked, only to hear no answer. Issei Hayate Tenchi, wake up or I will break this door. Alice spoke as again no answer, making her be annoyed as she backed up and spread her wings as her father and brothers saw her. Should we? Chow Chow asked, only to be cut off by Vala. No, I bet Issei is in trouble, I want to see this $0. Vala spoke as COA slapped him. You $0, Issei is already out of his room, but little sis doesn't know. Chow Chow spoke as the two watched their sister. $0, Issei is pranking her for reaction. Azazel spoke as the two looked shocked, knowing this was a bet going nowhere. 0 that he is doing this for something romantic, and her reaction. Penemu spoke in a nightgown with coffee as they watched. That's it, ah! Alice yelled, rushing to break down the door only for it to open, having her fall but be caught. My seems I caught an angel who has fallen for me. Issei spoke, make Alice go red as he held her close in a bridal style as he touched her wings. Why you baka me already? She spoke as the two did, only to hear laughs and see the others with grim looks except for the parents. What's up? The two asked. First we lost a bet, and two Issei want to help us, we got a mission to do some work against strays and get info on the devil houses. Vala spoke as Issei smirked as he craved for a fight. When? He spoke with a voice ready for battle. 0 minutes, welcome to the Chaos Brigade, Red Dragon. Vala spoke while he felt worried, knowing he was happy Issei made his sister find love, but will Ophis remember Issei, or no, this is the mission first then family. He thought as now life begins again. Time to show you a team, a peerage, a home for vengeance, and power to show they are the ones on top of the world. Time to show you a team, a peerage, a home for vengeance, and power to show they are the ones on top of the world. Issei Hayate Tenchi, King, Trio Longinus God. Red Dragon and White Dragon Emperor. Ex-pawn of Rias. Host of the true Longinus. Holder of knowledge of all gears and life. One of the only dragons still living when catching the dragon's fall by fighting it back and moving on. His goal is simple, you see, find his old friend who helped him be who he is now and kill his brother, Father Aquino and Asia for betraying him, and make Rias wish for her death. He also blames to find a way to make someone dragon by making their body and collecting their soul. If he can't do that, immortality is his second option. But his main plan is to make the supernatural wish they never met their new god. He loves Alice and is scared to love others because his own life is on the line, even more so than before thanks to the fall. He loves Alice and is scared to love others because his own life is on the line, even more so than before thanks to the fall. Azrael Alice Tenchi, Fallen Angel. Queen Peace, daughter of the fallen general and one of the strongest. Known as Red Shadow, the fallen assassin who kills those that are of any faction that pissed her off. When she goes all out, she can't help but love to fire and the taste of blood. She is a rare fire and light user for fallen angels thanks to her magic. The next leader of the fallen angels and only angel who is a pure fallen yet acts like an angel unless in battle, then she is a true fallen to the next degree. Her goal is to be there for Issei and prove those who hide their blood deserve death if they don't accept it. She loves Issei and tries to heal his broken heart, and if he dies by the fall she will be willing to die with him. She loves Issei and tries to heal his broken heart, and if he dies by the fall she will be willing to die with him. The next Lucifer, Rook, the rogue Satan, Silver Bloodshed, linked vanishing dragon thanks to Issei giving him a copy of the dividing gear and making him part dragon. His goals are simple: show rise of him that he is the stronger Lucifer, and he will surpass Great Red and Ophis as a devil, or dragon. He knows that Issei described Ophis, so his goal is to have the two meet, or recall each other, as they were all they had. Chow Chow Tenchi, hero faction warrior, knight, linked Longinus wielder thanks to Issei giving him a spear copy. The mark of the human race, the light of a pride. His goal is to show how humans are strong yet to be a dragon, as he knows he would just be a pawn otherwise by other beings, thus he will show how a half dragon half human can become a warrior. He wants to find his old teammates as some of them left him after he helped Vala and his team, yet he knows they still fight. They are strong, at least in his eyes. Strong, at least in his eyes. Kibayuto, Holy Sword survivor, ex-knight of Rias, brother-in-arms to Issei, boyfriend of Koneko. Also, I know you guys might not like this, but it's a new one I thought to try. Knight of Issei Hayadu Tenchi, yet he has a mark of burns on his chest showing the side effects of leaving Rias yet still being in the orc until Issei came back. Goal to be the strongest he can become and wishing to fight for his fallen friends and Issei. He doesn't have much goals besides caring for others, and he is glad Issei Koneko and him are still alive considering Rias being her. Koneko Shiron Tuju. Koneko Shiron Tuju. Kat Yokai, ex-rook of Rias, rook of the Red Dragon Emperor, sister to the former S-class stray Kuroka, girlfriend to Kibayuto. Her goals are simple. Sure, she loves sweets, but she is sour when it comes to those who cross her. She wants payback and to be strong, yet she now thinks that Rias Matter people view Issei as a stray who can't think the same was for Kuroka. She wants payback and to be strong, yet she now thinks that Rias Matter people view Issei as a stray who can't think the same was for Kuroka. Kuroka Tuju, Bishop of the Red Dragon, former stray devil, shadow cat, leader of her kind, member of Team Vala. Her goals are simple ones: to be reunited with her sister, and have a strong lover for her to make the Nico race be born again. She loves Vala but tries to hide it because she thinks he doesn't care, so she tries to find a different love instead to he's safe. She took the name of her sister to show how she and her a true family again. Ravel Phoenix, sister to Riser, pawn of to Issei, the short wildfire, great baker and cook, and one of the team's magic teachers for those who have potential. Her goal aren't many, she just wants to prove she can make her own choices in the world. Now as for the pawns, I'm still unsure, so I will make a part 2 once I know, but I hope enjoy Dragon Army. Focus is key, the only chance is now. Replica, fine time for my turn. It was 9:07 a.m. as Issei and Vala began walking through some old woods with burn marks and blood everywhere. Vala, where is your team? I mean, you said I would meet them, and all I can tell is the smell of blood near me. Issei spoke as he walked, and then used the boosted gear as a light only for it to shine a different color for a second. Well, hold up, they took care of one of them, that's why this is a mess, but this one has a lot of power and seems sane. Weird, right? Vala asked as he and Issei stopped as they looked down to see flames and blood everywhere down the mountainside. Yo, Issei, ready, go down. Vala spoke with a smirk showing his devil wings and battle smile. Depends, want to battle already, or are you just copying what I told your sister? Issei spoke with a smirk showing his battle as he is ready as his blood is boiling to fight. Just shut up and let's go before I kill Flame Brain. Fine, whatever, Lucifer. They too spoke as they jumped down the hill, spreading their wings to see a better look at the fight as they glide. Yo, seems like your team is over in that house over there. Issei says, pointing to a ruined and broken cabin. Yep, that has the info we need, but first this stray and this other fighter. Vala says as they land behind the flames. Yo, what's with the mask? I just noticed. Issei spoke as Vala's eyes widened as he was about attack, getting the foe's attention. You idiot, you forget I am a criminal to the factions for all but fallens. You think I want them to see my face? Vala yelled at Issei, getting the strays and fighters' attention. Honestly, you're lucky your new DNA changed your looks, Issei. Vala spoke as the stray looked at them. Great, now look what you did, Vala. Issei spoke, shocking Vala and annoying him. Me, you never mind. He spoke as the two flapped their wings, getting rid of the flames so they could see the stray as they hid them once again, while the other fighter left in the cabin. The stray. Ah! The massive beast-like stray roared as it began to rush at the two. So what do you know about this stray? You know, besides it being a mix of many beasts or animals and can use fire. I don't know if he wants to mock or compliment a dragon. Issei spoke as he moved back as the beast shot fire out of the left, right wing and arm while it tried to slash at Vala with its claws and monstrous arms. All I know is his name was Ronin, and he was a beast magic user who could shape-shift, not sure why he strayed though. Vala spoke, done dodging and kicking Ronin back as Issei then used a dragon shot at the flames and sent them back, destroying Ronin's one wing and causing the water to cover him. Wait, I know, he was the devil who fell in love with a human, and he also had the power to use other creatures' powers if met them, so not just human animals, and judging by these flames he actually copied a dragon. Issei spoke, stunned at the realization until he began to think, and turned to Vala. Are there any dragons on your team, Vala? Issei spoke as Vala went pale as he thought about the only dragon on his team. We need to hurry. If he uses all the power she holds, we will die. Vala spoke as his fist glowed blue. Ag! Ronin roared as he got out of the water and began to rush at Issei with incredible speed and power. Issei moved at every chance her had. With a claw strike he dodged and punched him in the gut only for it not to show, proving this stray is ultimate class. He then went to blast him with dragon fire, but Ronin turned the flames green and using his size slammed his one hand to the ground, blinding Issei slightly with the water turning to smoke as he then jumped height to sea only to get punched in the ribs, leaving a green claw mark as he fell to the ground. Damn, talk about pain, acid fire, guess no holding back. Issei spoke as he got up but suddenly saw a blue and black flash to see Vala rushing at Ronin, punching him multiple times, giving no break as blue sparks formed, and Ronin was pissed as he went to strike. Vala dodged and used his weight to grab his arm and throw him, sending the stray flying while he spread his 8 wings and glowed blue and black, aiming for the beast. Let's see if I can help, Issei thought as he began to boost. This is your end for losing your pride in the name of revenge and forgetting your soul and love, devil. This is your death. Vala spoke as the sky started to turn black while Issei stood next to him, eclipse and waver. Vala yelled as he shot a large blue and silver blast and mixed with black sparks as he kept blasting until he felt it being pushed back. As he looked up in shock, Ronin started to have red flames go purple. If they go black, the power of Ophis will be his. Not bad, but let's try to blast. Issei spoke next to Vala as he smirked as he was wrapped in flames. Inferno dragon shot. Issei roared as he attacked with his blast, mixing with Vala's, making a blue and emerald blast of red and silver aura, and Ronin couldn't push it back. He was tired. He was not used to this power. He lost, was all the stray could think as the blast turned him to dust and making the sky shine bright again. Damn, talk about. Issei spoke, catching his breath. Insane but awesome. Vala spoke as the two looked at each other and began to laugh, not having fun in a while. Well, let's gather everything and head back, or someone might flirt with your sister Vala. A voice spoke from the cabin, to be a man with pole and weird clothing, to Issei. Vala, who is this before I kill him? Issei spoke, pissed as the monkey man smirked. This Issei is the idiot I call my best friend Biko, the current monkey king. Vala explained as Biko smirked. Idiot, this is Issei, my sister's mate, the ex-pawn Gremory, and the current holder of the true Longinus and white and red dragon emperor. And he is pure dragon. You are lucky to breath if you fight him. Vala explains, making the monkey pale. Oh yeah, he is also Alice's ex because he was stubborn, and one of his jokes hurt her emotionally. Good luck, man, Vala said, leaving with a smirk as Biko felt cold. Vala said, leaving with a smirk as Biko felt cold. Why, you did what, and you're whose ex again? My mate's drag. I'll be in time to hunt a bitch. Issei spoke as he began to chase after Biko, who was crying like a bitch. Damn, Issei will kill like this if he keeps crying, haha. Vala spoke as he walked into the cabin and saw someone's tails, but as they were under a table, and went red as he turned away. Ahem, Kuroka, your kimono isn't covering your. Vala spoke as suddenly the table was sent flying as the said girl was sitting there on the floor. Vala spoke as suddenly the table was sent flying as the said girl was sitting there on the floor. Hey Vala, how are you, Naya? Kuroka spoke, red as the two couldn't help but be shy as they both seemed to like each other but were too afraid to say it. Well, I'm good. Did you get any info? He asked with a smirk. Yep, the person was a vet he loved, so makes sense. Nothing else though, besides him being the last of his kind that can do both powers without training. Kuroka spoke as Vala understood until they heard screaming as Biko hid behind Vala. Ugh, what the hell, man? Vala, help me, Ophis, rear are you? I don't want to die yet. The monkey man spoke as Issei ran in the cabin. Vala, let me at him, I need to kill him. Issei spoke, pissed, showing his dragon wings and the boosted gear, but suddenly it changed gold for all but Issei's eyes for a few seconds and leaving Kuroka and Vala with a headache. Did someone call me? A numb and emotionless voice spoke as Issei looked shocked. As Issei looked unshocked, the girl looked at Issei and sensed something for a minute until becoming just as shocked. I see? Is that? She spoke as the emotionless dragon god shed a tear, shocking everyone but Issei. Indeed, Faiz-chan, I've changed a lot, but I never stopped looking for you. Issei spoke as he shed tear of joy as he smiled. Excuse me? Vala spoke as he was the only one not in shock as Issei looked at him. How do you know the Ouroboros dragon god, Issei? Vala spoke, concerned. The 7th day when I was little, I forgot that day because that day you left and got rid of my memories, and Vala, she is my master and friend to me, almost mates, but we viewed each other differently, Issei explained as Ophis smirked. Agreed, I liked him, but more as a student-first friend and a son, nothing like Grendel thinks issei would be. Ophis spoke, furious, shocking everyone hearing her rage from the emotionless dragon. Damn, you really care for me, Ophis. Eve missed you, oh here. Issei says, giving the dragon god a bag of cookies Alice made for Issei, and Vala glared at him as he gave it to the dragon. That's the cookies Alice made, us, come on Issei. Vala yelled as Issei laughed at this, with Kuroka chuckling and Biko still shocked. Relax, Vala, I still have another bag, but we should go to school, and besides you can stay home, that girl could wake soon. Issei spoke as they agreed while everyone left while Biko stayed shocked. Come on, monkey brain! Kuroka spoke, kicking him so he could leave as well. POV Alice 007 AM at Ko Academy. Ugh, this so annoying. Why did Issei have to go with Vala on a mission? I mean, I'm glad my brother is being nice to him, but I miss him, and what's worse, the Gremory gang had to come back today, and her pawn won't stop looking at me by the dead god, and he said my Issei was a pervert. I thought to myself, tired of this. Miss Tenchi, report to the student council room. A voice rang, most likely being the principal. As Alice got up, she smirked. Thank God, bye teach, see ya later. Alice spoke with a snarl as Grendel grabbed his head in pain, making her laugh as she left. Yo sis. Coa spoke from the hallway, shocking me. He shouldn't be here, he has class. What are you, out of class, Baka? You and Vala act younger than me, I said, pouting. Relax, him here, same as you to go see Sona. What did you think, I was doing a prank? He asked with a smirk as I glared at him, remembering not just what he does but my ex, which I think he knew since he seemed worried. Hey, I'm sorry, I know you like being a part of them, or be called other things besides pranks. He is not your boyfriend anymore, he was a jerk. Coa spoke as I chuckled at what he said. Thank bro, Ida just ta, he said. How could I not hate him, kill me. I spoke as we walked to the council office. Hey, be happy Issei might see him and kill him soon, he said, making me laugh as I needed that. POV Student Council Office. Coa and Alice walked in to see a nice-looking room and a large desk and tables and chairs and a couch. Of course, figures for student council need seats and tables for work. Excuse me, are Alice and Coa Tenchi? Sona Citri asked as she fixed her glasses while her queen and pawn of Saji stood by her. Yes, we are. May I ask what seems to be the problem? Coa said, trying not to laugh and pull out his dagger, as he knew they couldn't lie for long. Well, we saw your form you filled out a little bit ago, or Issei did, and since you want to join too, I say why not tell you that your music club is ready. Sona spoke, making Coa be at ease while Alice ran to the paper, happy as a harpy as she looked at it, and signed it, and couldn't help but be happy. Yes, Issei can sing with us and without the damned orc up our ass. Thank you. Alice yelled in joy as she couldn't help it but even shed some tears until suddenly a portal opened to see Issei with a new shirt yet still slightly torn, but this showed a dragon yet flame-like look for him. Thank you. Alice yelled in joy as she couldn't help it but even shed some tears until suddenly a portal opened to see Issei with a new shirt yet still slightly torn, but this showed a dragon yet flame-like look for him. This type of look. Yo little feather, hey Coa, hey Sona, wait Sona. Issei yelled as he was still showing his dragon wings and walked in with magic, leaving everyone shocked how dumb he was just now. Kane honey, you baka think now you just revealed yourself? Alice yelled as Issei then smirked, looking at Coa who knew what to do. Last I checked he has clothing on, so how is he revealed or exposed in any way? Coa spoke, making Alice go red as she then spread her wings and punched her brother to the wall. Issei, you really are, and she is a, and is he? Saji spoke as he was the only one who could out of the three yet didn't know what to say as the others chuckled. Yes, she is a fallen and my lover, no he is human and last I'm a dragon now I left Rias well kinda. Issei said, confusing the three as Issei looked at them until Sona finally decided to speak. What do you mean Issei, what did she do? I thought she loved you and your brother, you both used up pawn pieces, that won't be easy. Sona spoke as suddenly she felt a holy aura and destructive one burst as Issei smirked as his eyes glowed an icing blue and killer green will a golden terrifying holy glow. List here, Sona never mentioned them and their lies, those murderers are lucky they live and breathe as today they would have died the same fate as my mother, the person they killed. Issei yelled as he summoned his gears all at once and broke his seals as his hair went white and red and his arm and chest showed black scales and skin almost like burns and rot form as he showed no mercy, only rage. You hear me, damn sister of Seraphal, they killed my mother, cheated on me, abused me, and more for the dead god's name. I was a pawn of 7, with seals of my own and Rias's so they would work. I was revived by force because my brother helped a fallen my ex kill me. It was Rias' plan same for killing my mother. Issei roared as he began to glow as he sent shivers down everyone's spines and almost made the devils in the room feel sick as Coa got up and saw this and smirked, seeing Issei is breaking through. Sona, they hunt me now so they can get the other pawn pieces they want while I gave them after I took the power away, you fools. He roared as a flame and bright glow wrapped around him. Welsh Dragon / Vanishing Dragon Unified Balance Breaker. Drake and Albion spoke as Issei was full of sparks, yet Replica smirked within his gear as he made sure Issei wasn't sensed as he did one more thing. Coa, I can't help this, so you know the balance breakers, and this is to go beyond what is the power of 2 gears merged as one, but I call this Heavenly Dragon Unified Balance Breaker, while this is to go even further beyond the power of a Longinus, and to become a true god. Issei spoke as he began to build up power, and his right gear arm began to show until he felt something hit him to turn and see spears and fire from Alice, as she glared her piercing red eyes at him holding daggers. Oh shit! Coa, Drake, Albion and Issei thought as Issei went back to his normal form and sealed his power again. Hey honey, I am on calm, I'm not gonna fight, okay? Issei spoke as Alice glared at him until she turned around. Fine, you're safe for now. She spoke as calmed down. Damn her like that, why? Issei whispered, but Alice heard as she went red. Issei, I'm sorry for what they did, I couldn't tell, I didn't know, I'm damn it. Sona spoke as suddenly before she could go on, Saji raised his hand stopping her from going on. Issei, are you falling? Saji asked in a grim voice as the devils in the room didn't know what that was while the others looked down. Drake, please tell me you didn't say anything? Issei asked until a gear formed on Saji, shocking them. Issei, I have a dragon too, that's how I knew, just be careful, okay? And we won't tell Rias, but we might tell Surzex, he is more worried about you than Rias, as the devil news let out that the two divorced, and said they won't be king or queen or leaders. Okay, now that Issei is here, let's go guys, buy free time. Coa spoke in joy as he can finally get away from Asia, as she was in one of his classes and that pissed him off. With that, the three left with Tsubaki still shocked, while Saji smirked knowing Issei has changed and had revenge as a plan. POV hallway. Issei, Coa and Alice just walked out from the talk with Sona, and as they walked, Issei and Alice couldn't help but laugh as Coa saw they were happy. And then I said, time to hunt a bitch. Issei spoke, Alice and him laughed as they were glad. Issei scared Biko, and after the laughter they had as they couldn't help it feeling closer than ever as they slowly parted. I'll be back, Kane dear, got to go call mom and tell her we are leaving early. Alice spoke as she then walked off and went to the music room. Issei moved as he sensed someone following his mate. Coa, get Vala, I'm killing someone today, if not I'm breaking them. Issei spoke as he said with no mercy, and noticing Coa left to get him, knowing he is outside if Issei is here, while Issei went to the music room only to sense a spike of Alice's power. That's it! Issei roared as he then ran to the room and without warning broke the door down as he knew someone was near, and he walked through the room only to see the supply room have a shine to it. There, he spoke, flying in and breaking the glass around, leaving smoke and shards everywhere, but as it settled, Issei was in front of an Alice against the wall, and the man on the ground he hates most. Damn, who are you? She is mine, have seconds, fool! Grendel Hayadu spoke as Issei smirked, snapping his fingers, making a barrier. Been minute, brother, hasn't it? Issei spoke with a cold tone as Gren suddenly went numb. What did you say? He spoke scared. POV before Issei entered. Alice walked into the music room, but still with her guard up as she looked around to see no one in the room or behind her, making her calm down and lower her guard as she was about to then reach for her phone. Suddenly got tackled against the wall by Grendel. Hey sweet thing, how are? He spoke with lust as Alice felt sick. Off and let me go, pawn. She spoke as she let out her aura, making a spear-like spiked glove burning his hand when she touched him, making him let go in shock. What the? He spoke, grabbing his wrist in pain as Alice smirked. How about you eat this? She spoke, punching him to the supply room, but before he was sent flying, Gren grabbed her leg with a death grip as he slammed her to the supply room while shocking her, as she found out he was in Rook promotion. Ow, what the? Alice spoke as she kept her balance until the glass shuddered as Issei entered. POV current. Issei glared at Gren on the ground, who was in shock as he looked at Alice in concert. Alice, are you okay? Did he do anything? Issei asked as Alice shook her head as Issei turned back to his brother and smirked as he placed a barrier around the room. Now it's time you know your mistake, foolish devil. Issei spoke as his eyes had no emotion in them as he was holding back his rage so he can hear this fool's words while Alice got her phone to record audio. Me foolish devil, you're the stray who killed our mother. What is wrong with you by holding this girl hostage? He yelled as Issei couldn't help but laugh as silence from the room made his laugh dragonic and evil horrific. Ha ha ha, me a stray, a killer, that's rich. Issei spoke before grabbing Gren by the throat. Listen now, and well, I am no devil, I am a dragon and one you will never understand, plus you shouldn't pin a crime on me because 1, your flames are purple to rose, 2, Rias has red and black, not me, and 3, I was gone at the time and miles away and you saw me purge my pieces, how could I fly there or teleport, huh? You're a fool, you hunt me because of my gear and pieces I stole for study, well guess what, you will be lucky to breath. Issei spoke as he picked him up and threw him to the wall as he then smirked as he started to glow red, black and gold with an emerald aura as his body changed to an organic and armor-like mix of some sort. Alice and Grendel looked shocked as Issei seems to keep growing stronger and stronger every moment. Alice and Grendel looked shocked as Issei seems to keep growing stronger and stronger every moment. I didn't even know I could do this, seems like this is my dragon form, damn rage trigger most things for me, unlike you heartless fool. Issei spoke, glaring at Gren, who was frozen in fear to the point he couldn't move at all, and seeing this made Issei smirk as he let down the barrier. Now this will only hurt a little, after all you only need 1 eye. Issei spoke calm as he summoned something, making all the devils nearly pass out from the power it gave off as it mixed with Issei. Issei spoke calm as he summoned something, making all the devils nearly pass out from the power it gave off as it mixed with Issei. What is that thing? Grendel spoke as Issei smirked while Alice knew to leave now since Akino still isn't here, no one else can know her, and besides the pawn knight died today. Issei, am leaving, farewell my love and devil, you are messing with a dragon beyond limit, and the true Longinus of God itself. She spoke, leaving as Issei smirked, putting the spear in front of Gren. Wait, Issei, please brother. He pleaded as if he had a chance. You're not my brother and you're nothing. Issei spoke as he slashed the spear down in front of Gren's face, leaving blood and a massive gash and his eye on the ground. Well, farewell, you're lucky I held back, but I wanted to see you hurt, not die, because that's mercy you don't deserve. He spoke as he left right as Rias and Asia came in to see him like this. POV Tenchi house. After the music room disaster, Issei went home and took Allison with him as he saw her ankle and wrist were red and he needed to make sure she was okay. Honey, I'm fine, really. Alice spoke as she looked at Issei. You sure? I want to make sure. I wish he was dead now more than ever. Issei spoke as Alice hugged him. You love me that much? She spoke with a smile. Of course, little cough cough, Issei spoke as then his gear formed on his right arm. Sorry to interrupt, but Issei and young Alice, we must talk. Replica spoke, leaving the two shocked. So this is your replica gear and his voice or its voice? Interesting. She spoke, looking at it more. I know he usually never talks besides in my head too, so what's up, Replica? Issei asked as he looked serious. You lost 0 years due to dragon. Luckily it wasn't 0 or more, you fool, but anyway, due to this I got you a few masters as you need to grow stronger without using rage and your magic needs work, same for your gear knowledge. Replica spoke as Issei and Alice looked at each other. Okay, as long as Drake is with me and my weapons, not other gears unless needed, okay, and Alice, watch my body for me, I trust you. Issei spoke as his boosted gear was summoned and glowed pure blood red as Issei then passed out all sleep on Alice's lap. Good luck, I see, she said with a smile. POV in the gear. Issei was standing in a blank empty void, no host or voice, only white nothingness, and even some red stars in it, almost like a sky, confusing him. Okay, so where am I now? This is a different gear space, that's for sure, but what is I dash? Before Issei could finish, he had to dodge a sword thrown at him glowing of dragon aura. So you're who we have to train, boring much, just a kid. An uncouth yet serious voice spoke as it sounded like his somehow. Hey, stop it, you may be the dragon who wanted revenge, but leave the runt be. A voice similar to the last spoke as it seemed calmer but still serious and stern. Hey, where am I? Who are you? Issei yelled as he was unsure until suddenly as crimson and gold glow shined as two figures formed. What the hell, who or what are you? Issei spoke as he was left shocked at the power he felt from them, and he couldn't tell why, but they felt familiar. Damn, you know nothing, kid. The gears are all worlds, all realities, not just when they are linked, so host can talk even when dead, while us it's another world. A new voice spoke as the two figures looked back shocked. Well, last I checked you never leave home. How is your sweet family? Figure 1 spoke in hate. How can you have kids with that bitch or be her cousin's teacher, fool? Figure 2 spoke as then a large shockwave of power was let out as Issei finally saw the figure, and was scared he could die from this power. How can you have kids with that bitch or be her cousin's teacher, fool? Figure 2 spoke as then a large shockwave of power was let out as Issei finally saw the figure, and was scared he could die from this power. First, don't talk about my mates like that. I am the only one here who can kill gods so off. Balance break. The RD figure spoke, shocking Issei as a wave of black and red was let out. Welsh Dusk Ultimate King Balance Breaker rang out from the figure as Issei went pale as the other two fell to the ground. Now for you, boy, we are Issei Hayadu. That gear called replica is much more than you think, as he is, well, I won't say, but we were summoned to teach you what you need and am the nightmare, while these are hiding and lone. It's a pleasure. The unnamed, the figure formerly known as Crimson Creeping Nightmare, Issei spoke, turning off his form and helping the other Issei up. An unnamed? Issei spoke, still confused, making Lone laugh as Hiding was trying his best not to. You see, hatchling, we got names, titles, ranks of our power that work with us to show fear, but what we went through while you don't got one yet, so training hopefully give you that. Damn, I hope we weren't like this. I know I wasn't. I hope maybe damn younger. Me looking at this thing weird. Hiding spoke as he recalls his time like this Issei until he lost his family and became a dragon, giving a smile to his face knowing he had revenge. Haha, yep, and don't worry, in here it will be about hour outside and week here and a month in Balance Breaker. Lone spoke as the two walked past Nightmare and Issei to get Hiding's sword. Okay, you ready to train? Nightmare spoke. Hell yeah, merge your magic, replica, time your emotions. Issei smirked as he rushed forward at Nightmare with a fury of blows as his hands sparked with red flame, but Nightmare closed his eyes and dodged left and right, and was not getting hit at all, and even kicked Issei in the gut, sending him to the ground only to bounce back. Making progress, but not enough. I'm glad you used what you learned. Nightmare spoke with a smirk. Flashback. Issei was only in the gear for a few minutes, but it felt like a few days as he tried to hit Hiding at all, but he just kicked him back or dodged. Hell, he even used his flame as a shield or a counter, making Issei unable to break through and hit him, making him summon his gears until the flames faded. Stop! Hiding yelled. Issei looked at him in fear. He walked closer, throwing his jacket aside. Okay, I see your problems now that you have boosted the first day we met. And now that we have trained instead of Lone's training, it's my time to work on your dragon side. He spoke with a smirk, letting out his wings. But what about my gear as a dragon? I should tr dash. Issei was stopped with a hit on the head as Hiding was less patent for dumb and foolish questions. Think you purged your pieces, now you are a dragon thanks to Drake, but we need to work on your dragon form, magic and fighting style. So easy, first magic. He explained as Issei nods understanding. Okay, first things first, focus on nothing but yourself and your body as if it was a mountain you must climb. That is step 1. Once you're done with them all you get this. Okay, first things first, focus on nothing but yourself and your body as if it was a mountain you must climb. That is step 1. Once you're done with them all you get this. Hiding spoke, showing Issei a small flame for him to reach for as Issei closed his eyes, doing as told. Focus on only your body and my voice, not just the muscle, the blood, the magic, the fire in your veins. He spoke as the other two Issei watched as Issei concentrated and sparks formed around him of black and gold. No, don't try, let it come to you, let you and it be one that is fire for a dragon as it is life itself. Hiding spoke out Issei's flaw as Issei calmed himself and the sparks fell to the grounds and turned red, black and gold to a small cyclone. Good, now let it come to you. He spoke as Issei then raised his arm to the same position as Hiding as let the flames slowly form in his hands. Form me, let us raise. A voice spoke, confusing Issei as the flame sparked. Let your power break free and evolve from critical, show them the mistakes they made. The voice yelled as suddenly an image showed in Issei's mind. Let your power break free and evolve from critical, show them the mistakes they made. The voice yelled as suddenly an image showed in Issei's mind. Oh! Issei yelled as the flames turned to nothing and he began to breathe heavily. Damn it, did one of you guys do that? I was so close. He spoke as the three were confused as they had no clue until they smirked as it hit him. You had a vision of your future. They yelled as Issei looked shocked. Just focus on the flame training until you get on the vision. Hiding spoke as he took a nap, seeing he wasn't worth a fight yet. Flashback over. Issei smirked, glaring at Nightmare as he looked at him with a look of battle. "Am not making enough? Well, take a look." Issei yelled as he was wrapped in a red flame, and he had dragon wings and a tail both red, silver, and gold, but his wings one was black, one had gold, tail was both. Nightmare was shocked and happy seeing this as he then took of his cloak to fight normally. Nightmare was shocked and happy seeing this as he then took of his cloak to fight normally. "Alright, bring it on. Try mixing the flames and your gear to push past your limits." Nightmare roared as he got into a fighting stance, and Issei summoned both his boosted gear and true longinus, as he knew he needed to have distance and close range, but without the risk of getting hit, so the spear was the way to go. "Oh, you got the spear as well, I'm impressed, but I don't see worth of using my gears yet, you come at me." Nightmare spoke with a smirk, trying to see if Issei would snap and how he fights enraged. "Why, you bastard!" Issei spoke as he had his flames out of his hands, and the gear began boosting to the joy of Nightmare. Boost, 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 rang out as Issei let out his aura, rushing at Nightmare with a full force punch, sending a shockwave of fire and air pressure in the void, and then Issei backed up as he smirked. "You say to impress you fine, eat this." Issei yelled, forming a fire of red and emerald in his two hands. "Dragon shot barrage!" Issei roared as he hovered slightly in the air and began his assault. "Dragon shot barrage!" Issei roared as he hovered slightly in the air and began his assault. This, but the blasts are red and green with a black glow to them. Issei kept going more and more, firing until he shot two more and smirked as he looked down. "And one more for the road!" "Dragon shot!" Issei yelled, firing his last blast, causing the ground to explode and nothing but a cloud of smoke to be seen as Issei was breathing heavily. "Sigh, that sigh was breaths enough for you, you ego-filled bitch," Issei said, tried falling to his knee. "Actually am prideful as I am one of the strongest in the multiverse. With me and my peerage, that attack couldn't even hurt my Lucifer. I trained him well, he took his blood throne as an Abaddon and proud dragon as well." A voice spoke from the smoke as a figure walked out of it. "This, but his outfit is damaged slightly." Issei was shocked beyond belief. He walked out of the blast like it was nothing. He made sure IR would be strong enough to make Rias and Riser from the raiding game and wedding match be defeated. Just how strong was this guy? "Not bad, kid, maybe try another one of those. My back's stiff, I could use it to fix it." Nightmare mocked as Issei was beyond shocked, boosted again and got battle ready. "Okay, fine deal, Drag now," Issei yelled as his aura let out some flames. "Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker." The voice of the Welsh Dragon out as the Emperor's iconic scale mail was shown as he held the holy spear glowing in flames. "You wanted to fight, here I am." Issei spoke as Nightmare went from a smirk on his face to his head down, while the other two watched from afar. "You think he will make it? I mean, I never fought Nightmare, but you seem scared for this one." Hiding spoke as he watched while Lone looked from above, face not hidden in the cloak. Hiding spoke as he watched while Lone looked from above, face not hidden in the cloak. "Lone, don't get me wrong, you're heavenly dragon, almost god, and am king, almost heavenly dragon level, and this one has potential, but Nightmare is one who shows no mercy unless it's those he can be willing to, and most he has killed or got serious on without warning, while others are lucky, just lucky after all he was." Before Lone could finish, they were shocked as they felt a large burst of power from Nightmare, only to pale seeing a black and red massive aura around him. Nightmare spoke as Issei could barely keep his balance breaker together, as he was up close to this power and scared. "If you're going to fight someone they want, hold back. My power now is equal to your 1 year of future foes. Don't be sacred, I mean it's all together, not separate, so you can be stronger," he explained as he took off his jacket to relieve it was weighted and turned to ash as THR aura ripped it apart and burned it. "Understood, I won't disappoint," Issei spoke as he began to focus. Boost, 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 rang out as Issei matched a small portion of what Nightmare showed with his own aura. "You want to fight, then eat this," Issei and Dryag spoke as he rushed forward and began to slash at him with the spear mixed with flames, and then flipped backwards, blasting his face and punching his back as his hand glows red, emerald, and gold with black sparks, as he then snapped his fingers, showing a massive explosion, breaking some off Nightmare's aura, shocking the two watching, but it reformed just as fast, making Issei fall to his knees. "Not bad, you ripped New York shirt and cut me, but you got one last hit, make it count," Nightmare spoke as Issei got up, showing a radiant aura. "Replica, can you hear me?" he asked as he deactivated his balance breaker. "Yes, me and Dryad can." "Why?" the godlike gear asked as Issei smirked. Time for my trump card. Hope this works. After all, I may not be as magically strong as Lone or Dragon, like as Hiding, or as strong and experienced as you Nightmare, but I got the balls and heart of a dragon, Issei spoke as he then glowed. I am the dragon who risen from nothing. I shall see all and be all as the power of my being breaks free of the name Emperor. I will raise in the power and knowledge that calls upon my name. Replica overview. Balance breaker. Issei spoke as his aura bursts out a different red, almost digital yet pure energy, as sparks glowed black, replacing the emerald green, and showed gold. Replica overview. Balance breaker. Issei spoke as his aura bursts out a different red, almost digital yet pure energy, as sparks glowed black, replacing the emerald green, and showed gold. This is the replica one. Keep in mind he can merge it with Drake or Albion. The others were shocked by the power this let out. It showed the potential of a dragon king at high ranking, almost a low ranking Hawaiianly dragon, and coming from a kid who just had the riser fight and fought a stray with Vala. That's a lot of improve with one form. Alright, I got 10 seconds in this, let's make it count. Issei spoke, putting the spear away as he was ready to make a critical attack. POV from the outeast. While this happened, while Issei was resting and training in the mind, Alice was with him, making sure he was okay as she saw he was sweating a storm. Oh, I see, please be okay, she said as she then heard a knock on the door, which she chose to ignore, but then again she ignored it but got mad. Now this time the person rushed in the room. Issei, I tried knocking. What are you? Vala yelled until he saw his sister and Issei, and he felt afraid as he saw his sister with blazing daggers of light and a smile on her face. Oh dear brother, what do you need that could bother me and Issei? She said in a playful yet threatening tone, making Vala back up, nearly falling over. Well, you see sis, we got guests and one of them know Issei since a kid and want to help him train, so I guess you can have them in here? Vala said, concerned and questionable, until his sister calmed down, putting her daggers away. Fine, they can enter, she spoke as Vala smirked. Okay, I will tell her she is good to enter, he said, catching Alice's attention on the word her, but before she could stop him, Vala already left to the living room as she sighed in annoyance. As Vala left the room, he saw Coa Azazel and Penemy waiting for him with Kuroka. So Vala, I didn't know you, she was your girlfriend, my dear. Penemy spoke, making Azazel choke on his drink, and Coa laugh as the two were red. We aren't, Kuroka said as Vala let out his wings. Coa, shut your ass up or I will tell Jean how you feel, Vala spoke to his brother, making him go red and shut up and glare. You wouldn't ask liquor? Try me, thigh beggar. The two boys growled at each other and their UAL preferences as Alice walked out. Geez, and I though Issei and how he looks at my boobs are bad, but I got two weird brothers. Alice spoke as they instantly looked at her until they heard if cough breaking up the silkney as they then looked at Kuroka. Okay, Office will be here soon, and she changed her look. Naya, she will help Issei, don't worry, Kuroka spoke as Alice glared at her, making all feel fear. As long as she doesn't steal him. She spoke cold as a portal opened. Office. Nonsense, I would never. I see him like a brother to me, and besides, I don't know what that love was it feels like anyway. The dragon god spoke in her new form as she looked at Alice. Alright, follow me to Issei then. Alice spoke as they went in his room, leaving everyone speechless. POV with Gremory. Everyone was in the orc room with Sona's team and Serzex and Grafia. However, as they looked serious, Rias, Asia and Aquino seemed worried for Gren as he was still just barely alive. Sure, he was awake, but he was almost dead, and he lost his right eye, has a massive scar on his chest, and lost a few fingers only because Aquino Barley saved his hand. But besides them, Kiba and Koneko stayed against the wall. Since they didn't know where Issei was, they couldn't go to him yet, so the least they could do is stay here yet never listen to Gremory and her foolish servants and lover. Now who called us here? We all are busy and I have a meeting with the leader of the fallen angels soon to ask about a peace meeting, and we need to find Issei. Serzex spoke, showing he is taking his job more seriously, impressing Grafia, but he didn't care as much as he said he would care once he proved worthy again to be with her, even if it mean just king and queen or friends. I didn't Lord Lucifer Eve been working on files for the new students and the strays. Sona spoke with her team nodding in agreement, making Serzex glare at Rias, who went pale as she felt fear for once seeing her brother's glare. My team has been taking care of them and ourselves, of course we have done nothing. Rias spoke before being interrupted by Kiba, who was looked at by everyone. You have been ing each other all the damn time. You haven't trained or studied. Hell, you killed Issei's mother, and me and Koneko are fighting strays alone and at the same time trying to find Issei. Kiba snapped as he showed his swords in hand but felt someone tap at him to see Koneko. Calm down, right, meow, she spoke, hugging him as he calmed down, while Thrm glared at Rias, letting out his power focused at them. Rias Gremory, as the MOUH Lucifer, you have disappointed me. How dare you be named Gremory, you useless, unless you find issei within next 7 hours. I will make sure he isn't the only one to make you suffer. Surzex spoke with authority and rage, shocking everyone, causing Rias to cry as she lost her brother. Why, it's that pervert's fault. HR should be dead. Rias snapped, making all look shocked, as then Grendel sat up, barely able to move. Why, yeah, he did this to you and me, that bastard and his tricks. Gren spoke until he fell back, as he couldn't sit up anymore, let alone talk. Shut up and maybe learn your place, low-class trash. Only issei deserves respect among your family's name. A voice spoke with anger, making all look to see Revel Phoenix, the Litka's sister to Riser Phoenix, and his bishop. I called you all here because I have been helping Sona with the stays. However, there was a stray of a class of beast magic user that was the only one left that could use both his kids' types of magic without deadly training, yet he loved a human, and killed his master, as his master killed his lover, and he went berserk, getting stronger and stronger. Revel explained, as all looked at her, puzzled on how they didn't hear about this threat. Why wasn't I informed to help if it was so strong? Grafia and Sona asked as Revel smirked. To answer that, let Annie tell you what happened. Revel spoke as she began to think back. Flashback. Revel was in a forest, walking around, following the dead animal and human devil body trails slowly, as the smell made her sick. Ugh, how can devils fall so far doing this? What the? Revel spoke as she stopped at the lake, showing the stray spreading ice and fire everywhere. Hey, ugly, in the name of the House of Phoenix, you're going to pay for your crimes. Revel yelled, throwing fire, as the stray turned around unfazed by her assault, and tried blasting his own flame, but she dodged and healed, but just barely, as she kept going back ans forth to offense and defense. She heard 2 people fall, so she ran to the bushes as she spread flames around the area, and the stray turned to get water. Yo, issei ready to go? A man said. Depends, are you saying what I told your sister? Issei spoke as they landed, making Ravel's eyes widen, as issei was alive, and as she saw him she saw the boosted gear as they fought. Flashback end. As Revel explained most of what she saw, I'm not gonna say the whole chapter, but she was there the whole stray fight, all the way until issei chased Biko. Everyone was shocked. Issei lived, and he was with a Lucifer and Nico and Sun O Kong, and is dating someone. Rias and Grendel were the most shocked, as how could he live after all they did, and he beat a high, almost ultimate class stray with Vala Lucifer by the dead god, and Lucifer they killed the wrong fool. You think, you fools. Revel, may I know who was the girl he spoke about? I have an idea on where he is. Saji spoke, making all eyes turn to him. What do you mean, find him? We would die. He is Asia was cut off before she could finish by a spark of power coming from Saji and his arm. Will you shut up? He would only kill you traitors, not us, because we care, unlike sluts and useless bitches like you. Saji snapped, as he didn't care who was in the room. He felt rage at those who talked bad to issei, his fellow dragon and brother in gears. Saji, I understand, I feel the same, but you must calm down, or we may not be able to find him. Sona spoke as Saji nods, understanding. Okay, as I was saying, he mentioned a girl named Alice, his girlfriend. He lives with how many go her by that name? Revel spoke, trying to figure things out. Just one, Alice Tenchi. Sona spoke as Surzex and Grafia looked at her. That name Tenchi, is she human or fallen? The two snapped as Saji and Sona looked down with all confused. Answer now, Saji. He ordered again. Saji looked up with a sad look. I promised issei, and he trusted me not to tell a soul. Now if you wish to know, find out yourself, because if it means I'm not a devil anymore, I would gladly protect issei if that's the cost. Saji spoke, summoning his gear, and looked coldly at them, and suddenly swords formed around them as Kiba and Koneko did the same, ready to fight. Alright, you've shown guts, now I won't force to tell, I will just go there. Lucky me, I think I know already where he is, and all of you are coming along with me. Surzex spoke, ready to find issei. POV back in the mind. Issei glared at Nightmare, who stood tall ready for issei to strike, but issei only smirked under his armor as this fight pushed his limits to the max and even further beyond. Okay, hope you're ready, because I'm not gonna go down until I do this last strike. Issei spoke as he began to let out his aura and flames to his hands and slowly the center of his being. Oh, so you're not gonna wait to hand make them your gons, make them with power. Nightmare Issei spoke as a handle was made from Issei as he removed his helmet. Yeah, but why not both? I must do both. To be the emperor I wish, to be the god I wish to be. Issei roared, raising his hand up, and a flame silcone of blue aura, black and gold as the flames, and burning red aura shines. His sword of his flames and life, while the others in the bio are hand-made normal blades. Like it, I call this the Emperor Eternal, as it's the power of me and Dryag name as long as I live and the Emperor is feared, this blade never will be destroyed. Issei spoke, showing his sword, making the three smirk, as they all made swords before, and it seems this is one that fits this Issei. As Issei spoke, Nightmare watched and got in a fight stance, confusing Issei and the others. Alright, new balance breaker, new sword, let's do something new. Trade hits for this one, sword for punch. I will go or percent so I don't kill you and afterwards go back to the real world. Nightmare spoke with a smile as Issei took off his helmet with a smile. Ah! The two yelled as they charged at each other, one wrapped in an aura of red and black as sparks of silver and emerald show, while the other sparks a flickering red AMD gold aura with black and emerald sparks and fire as the sword starts to be wrapped in flames. Ah! Boom! As they make contact, a massive red, black, and emerald explosion of fire goes off around the entire area, making it impossible to see as the fire grows more and more, but after a few minutes it finally secs and Lona and Hiding are shocked as they see Issei and Nightmare still standing. Not bad, you were good, but Issei passes it as Nightmare rushes to grab him and laid him down. Not good enough, youngling. He spoke as he then left, as he was now heading to the real world. Grow strong, Haida Tenshi, grow strong. They thought as he left. POV, last one I promise. Alice and Ophis sat with Issei as he was now hurt with burns and bruises all over him, as he was in a panic-like state when he jolted up. Damn, I almost won! He yelled as he then saw Ophis and Alice look at him in shock. What? He spoke until he then was slapped by the two off his bed. Kane, you scared me to death, I thought you died, Alice yelled as she teared up. Indeed, and I never thought you would push yourself this much. Rest, we will get worried. Ophis spoke as she then healed Issei as he got up. Alright, my feather, I will insist, thanks. Issei spoke to Ophis as he feels like he has his family back. Of course I wanted sweets and I want to be an ant. She spoke, making them go red as Issei tossed her a bag of M&Ms. Stop and here, have these. Issei spoke as she caught them and began to eat while Issei changed. Now he is wearing a blue shirt with a black chain design on the sleeves, along with gray pants with red going down the middle of his legs, and lastly white socks and bronze shoes. What do you think, babe? Issei spoke as he then went red. Alice changed to now she is wearing a red shirt with a black dragon on it, and it shows her cleavage ever so slightly, along with a black skirt with gray and yellow flats to feel comfy, and she tied her hair into a ponytail as Issei turned around. Why, look handsome, honey, how about me, do I look bad? She teased, only for Issei to her passionately, with tongue making Ophis vanish away, and after a few moments they parted. I never wanted to someone more in my life, but yeah, you look bad, take it all off. Issei spoke as they leaned close, only to be interrupted by a loud knocking. Damn it, I can't get alone time. Issei growled as he went to the door with Alice next to him. I agree, we are mates, basically husband and wife, can't we do it in peace? For my first time this house can't knock. Alice spoke as Issei nods, understanding her. Okay, who is it? If you're selling cookies, sorry, not today, my brothers just bought a box a few days ago. Issei spoke as he then opened the door until his eyes widened and he began to shed tears of sorrow and rage as he wished to vomit, and Alice wanted to kill more than ever, seeing who was in front of them. Hello, so you really have changed, Issei? Spoke the voice of Surzex with Team Citri, Gremory and Ravel along with Goru, and among them Saji, Kiba and Koneko. Look sad seeing they led then here, but even in battle or order they have no choice, but they tried, Issei could tell. Sorry, but the Issei you knew is dead, now leave or I will call my father and you devils. Issei spoke, glaring at Rias and Grendel. I know your plan, first my mother, then you tried to assault Alice, never lay a hand on her or my spear will take your head next. Issei spoke, flaring an aura of rage as Alice did the same, showing their wings, daggers and boosted gear. Father, what father who would care for you? Goru spoke as Issei began to laugh. Well, your wife did before your son and Rias killed her. Issei spoke with malice as some rushed in. Alice, kiddo, what's going on, you two? Azazel asked as he rushed to them, as he was wearing a white shirt and black pants and black shocks as he didn't wear his jacket inside. Nothing, Dad, just some trash, I thought Vala took it out. Issei spoke with a smile. Agreed, Papa, seems like fools somehow made trash walk, like making Gremories be normal. Oh wait, the heiress is a slut, so that's not normal, only for her. Alice spoke as the two laughed while Azazel glared at the group. So our meeting will be now then, since you've been trying to hunt my daughter's mate, and be foolish, I come in, but if any of you piss me off I will let my sons kill you. I need a drink. Azazel spoke as he left, and Issei looked at Saji, Kiba, and Koneko. Hey you three, come on, don't be sad, I don't hate, I said this so come in, you two mistakes of devil race. Issei said as he snapped towards the others and didn't even look at his ex-father, as he felt like he didn't even exist. Who is what among supernatural? The room was tense as Issei and Alice were standing by Vala and Coa while in front of them Azazel and Penemy looked at the group in front of them. Issei, however, was barely keeping it together. He was close to going to kill Gremory and that team in an instant, yet he knew he needed to do things worth his time. Okay, now that we are all here, two birds, one stone. First, what do you all want? And it will vary my decision with Surzex. The fallen leader spoke with his chief secretary next to him as he took a sip of his beer. All but Ravel, Surzex, and Grafia were pissed as they thought Azazel was a human talking back to devils and someone they view as a father or uncle, Goru. Yet Kiba, Koneko were confused as they seemed to feel fallen magic here, while Saji knew Alice was fallen, so he thought, who was the dad? Let me tell you, fool, that boy of yours is my son. He needs to come home. Tell him to listen, and we will have a talk. Goru spoke as Issei started to shiver slightly as Alice caught this, and Ophis, who watched from the other room, was pissed as those two knew what he did. Sure, it's okay, honey, he won't hurt you anymore. Alice spoke, hugging Issei as he shed a few tears as the men in the Tenchi house saw and got pissed as Vala stood up. Listen up, you bastard, you have no right to live, let alone talk. You are a fool, you abusive bastard. We all know what you did to Issei almost every day. I won't stand for you hurting my brother. Vala snapped as he let out his aura, knocking the man to the ground and showing 8 devil wings, shocking everyone as Coa walked forward. That's damned right, Vala. Lucifer, the son of the heir of the name Devil King, and I Coa Deepening of the original Coa, and the 3 kingdoms you will pay. He spoke. Issei smirked as he stood looking at them, letting go of the hug, and summoned a book. Hey Coa, I bid you worthy catch. Issei yelled as he threw a golden light at Coa, and when he caught it, he and Vala smirked as he raised it up, shocking everyone. Everyone was shocked while Vala laughed, not feeling anything from the spear, and Grendel was afraid as that spear nearly killed him. As they saw it, Issei looked at them all. Everyone was shocked while Vala laughed, not feeling anything from the spear, and Grendel was afraid as that spear nearly killed him. As they saw it, Issei looked at them all. You are fools, you saw me as a fool, yet you didn't realize I had 4 gears at birth. Now Coa, put away that copy. Issei spoke as everyone was shocked that it would be a copy, but then as it was put away and Vala hid his wings, a massive aura was let out as all who lived in the house smiled as everyone else was scared. Would he a copy, but then as it was put away and Vala hid his wings, a massive aura was let out as all who lived in the house smiled as everyone else was scared. Issei's aura, yet it was infused with not just red but also a mix of black and blue, spark bursting into fire and gold and silver wrapping around his body. Time for me to show you wrong, Gremory. Issei roared dead as his aura then went out, showing 4 weapons, and they let out power, showing they were real. Everyone looked shocked as in one hand the boosted gear along with the true Longinus, and then on his back the divine dividing, and lastly the right arm was unknown, but the aura leaking from it was looking at fear, life, death, and power itself all in one, as it held a book which had a lot of notes, as it was partly open. How we thought you only had the boosted gear. Akino spoke, afraid, as Issei began laughing. Haha, well, you could say that, but seals hide well, I mean that is their job, and don't be dumb, we are all stronger than you, right Mo? Issei asked as he put all but his gauntlets away, and Alice showed her wings, making Akino become pale in fear as Rias noticed. Oh, by the look on your face you remember me, the fallen who hides her name. People like you make me sick. She spoke as she summoned her daggers and let out a smile and laugh, making all feel fear. Honey, please, that's enough, this is my business along with father's. Issei spoke, calming Alice down as she went to the kitchen to get some tea, while Issei glared at the group. First, Akino, you are one who kicked me out of many when you claimed I was a perv, yet did I ever truly look at you all? And yet you had a broken home as well, and you couldn't see my pain, you sicken me. Issei's words made Akino shocked on how he viewed her, and how she knew she was wrong. Next, Issei glared at Asia. You say you're a holy sister, bullshit. First, my brother only knew of you the day you were reincarnated, as he wasn't doing anything while I was, and besides, if he saved you, how did Rainier die? Because he would know Rias killed her when I told her to, since I needed to compose myself and ignore her, yet seeing it now you're all worse than her. Issei spoke, annoyed as he looked her dead in the eyes as she shed tears. I viewed you as my sister, not anymore, and here is a fact I learned these past few hours thanks to training. He went in to whisper to her, God is dead. He spoke, moving away so no one else heard as she passed out, making the Teshi group chuckle. What did you do to Asia? Rias snapped, worried, holding her passed-out bishop. Nothing of your worries and wait your turn in talking. Issei spoke, glaring at the redhead as she became silent. Warning, talk of abuse. Now you, Issei spoke, glaring at his former father with pure hate. You say I am a fool, a mistake when you beat the shit out of me almost every single day since Gren was born and never cared. You beat me when he got hit from school bullies and thought it was me who did it, and made me bleed and see my own bone. You bastard, I almost died 0 times a month because of you. Issei snapped, showing his hate, as then a black fire appeared, showing Ophis more pissed than ever. So you're the reason I never saw him again. I will make you know the silence of death. Ophis spoke as Issei then grabbed her shoulder. Don't, sis, death is a mercy, he isn't worth mercy, Issei said as Ophis turned around to leave, with everyone shocked on who that was, while Surzex and Azazel had an idea who it was and was afraid, mostly Surzex, as she seemed pissed. Now you're up next, Grendel, Issei snapped, pointing at his brother, showing his boosted and replica gears once more. You seem to forgot who is the elder, who is the emperor, who is God. Issei began to speak, scaring him even more. I am who shall awaken the one who will rule over the betrayal of this world. Crimson fire. Issei spoke as he let out a massive aura, scaring everyone as he began to let out a fire around them. Never think you are better than I, he said, while making him pass out due to the pure bloodlust directed at him. Issei then calmed down, looking at Vala and Alice, who held a shocked COA who haven't seen Issei pissed yet. Jesus, now I know not to get you pissed, bro, he said as they all chuckled before Issei looked to Rias with a cold glare, showing the dragon within him almost manifest for her to see in her nightmares. Jesus, now I know not to get you pissed, bro, he said as they all chuckled before Issei looked to Rias with a cold glare, showing the dragon within him almost manifest for her to see in her nightmares. It's basically Issei's aura and rage is what she is seeing now, and the figure is how she views Issei as someone new, someone that could end her. You made Koneko follow me. You let Rainier try to kill me. You probably had Grendel MSK sure I died. You let this blonde mop of a nun die and join you, he yells as someone walks downstairs, hearing him yell. POV? I woke up to the sound of yelling and I was confused before. I was in an ice-like cage sealed next to him here in comfy bed. I don't get it, I say, slowly getting up. Where am I and who was that man? He seemed to have freed me, but that arm, I could barely see it through the seal before I passed out. It seemed red, the mysterious woman says, thinking to when Issei saved her, only to then hear yelling. I walked downstairs to see a fallen angel girl and devil-human hybrid and a human with blue hair, along with someone who seemed to be familiar, possible being the leader of the fallen angels, Azazek, in front of me, all watching a man yell a devil peerage, judging by the aura, and even the new devil king Surzex is here and Grafia as well. But wait, no, it can't be. I think as I listened to the boy talk. You made Koneko follow me. You let Rainier try to kill me. You probably had Grendel MSK sure I died. You let this blonde mop of a nun die and join you. He then shows a massive red aura that can match high class or higher, but seemingly Bane held back by a lot. You had me save you from Riser, you had my brother, you killed my mother and blamed me knowing I might die by seeing her death on the news as I almost activated the Juggernaut drive, you idiotic period hair cow. He yells as I flinch and see the Devil King and Grafia looked shocked as the Juggernaut drive being nearly used when how? I think stepping into the room. So this is what devils have become now, what a shame, I say as everyone looks at me. POV Issei. After I mention the Juggernaut drive, I feel a urge to speak the chant as I can barely control my aura as Alice watches ready to step in and Ophis consents me from my room. So this is what devils have become now, what a shame, I hear as it somehow calms me and I turn to see the girl I freed flaring at the group. I hear as it somehow calms me and I turn to see the girl I freed flaring at the group. The girl, and who are you to be involved in our business? Rias spoke as Surzex and Grafia looked shocked, thinking girl looked familiar. My name is Ingvild Leviathan, the true heiress of Leviathan. Ingvild says to everyone's shock as the heir of a true devil is here. Yes, finally another devil king decedent. About time, I am not the only one. Valley yells with a laugh as Alice rolls her eye and COA smirks. Lucifer brat, shut up will ya, that's my ears you're yelling in. Alice says, Anud. We get your hate, we dear, but please stop yelling. Penyum spoke as Vala looked down whole COA and Azazel couldn't help but laugh and Issei just sighed tired. You're a Lucifer, all but the Tenchi house yelled to all annoyance as a black mist appeared to be Ophis again. Please shut up. She spoke cold as all but Issei felt scared. They will silence now, I got headphones in my room, use those, he told her with a smile. Thanks Dragono, and I want more chocolate. She spoke as Alice laughed. Maybe later, Ophis, we are busy. She spoke as Ophis shrugged and left, leaving all shocked how issei was so calm. Now yes, he is a Lucifer, half devil and half human, while Coa is full human, and my mate her is full fallen angel and daughter of Azazel and heiress aka next leader of the fallens. Issei said, motioning to them all, and ing Alice to all but Akino, Koneko, and Kiba's Shakafi group, as Gren still wanted her, and Rias hated how he was happy. Now leave all but Kiba and Koneko, they did no wrong, and teach why are my sibling in my mind and heart. Issei spoke as the two walked to Issei, hugging him with tears. We're so sorry, they said as he was chuckling. You said this when I saw you at school, and I will say this to you both. No more apologies, you did nothing wrong, he says with a smile, letting go of the hug. You think I will leave? Never, you brat. Gory yelled about to his issei, but suddenly a black spiral stopped him. You fool, I am who shall see the light in the shadow and show its hate. I see God's word and will too make it my own, casting my hate into a weapon of justice. Those who cause me pain will know domination in hell's rain, spear of apocalyptic fire, form thr name of my sorrow as light needs its shadow. Purgatory's shadow. Issei spoke as he formed a weapon of blood and tears, and the shadow under him was gone as it became a spear similar to the true Longinus but black instead. AMD the top was not just a spear but a core of fire, though was red blood red. The darkness of Issei within his heart, and pain his opposite to the true Longinus. As Igor was blocked by it, suddenly his hand formed black and red cracks as it began to bleed and spark into fire on his entire hand, as he screamed in pain, falling to the floor. Rias was about to step in, but Surzex stopped her, as he began to watch more, and Gora screamed in pain and tears of blood fell in his eyes. Hey, don't break yet, this is only a fraction of the pain I went through, so deal with it, we haven't even got to mental pain yet. Issei spoke cold and heartless towards the man he is ashamed to once call his father, now on the ground crying. Issei, please. A voice says as Issei snaps his finger, the pain is gone but the scars and burns stay. Just know I never spared you for them, I spared you for Mom because you don't deserve to see her in death. Issei says, shedding a tear, and walk him to his room. Azazel, I'm so sorry for my sister's actions, he says, bowing as Rias is shocked her brother did that. But as for you, Surzex glares at Rias and her peerage as all but Kiba and Koneko feel fear. You shall never return to the underworld unless Issei allows it, as he is worthy of being a aid to us, but you dear sister did nothing but hurt. You know I was not the best leader or husband, now you ruined New York marriage as well. Surzex burst out an aura of sorrow and anger, shocking everyone as Riastine falls to the floor while Ingvild walks out to sit down. Surzex, dear, calm down, and Grafia, I know you're mad too, please calm down. Penium says, giving them tea. Also, if you want to repair your marriage, get therapy, if not then just be king and queen and maybe even have a best friend or sibling bond. Azazel chimed in, having a point. I'm going to check on Issei, all but Surzex, Kiba and Koneko, get out, you have no rule in our home. As the heiress of the fallen angel faction, you follow my order of Azrael, Alice Tenchi, daughter of Azazel, and Penium, now bow and leave this place, she yelled, spreading her wings and walking off, to everyone's but Saji and Akino's shock as they saw her wings. POV Issei. He went into his room and immediately put up a barrier, as he then fell to the floor, showing his wings and fire, while tears began to flow from the young one's face. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, why can't I grieve, why can't I move on and why can't my goals become reality? Issei cried as he went and grabbed a dagger. Warning, mention of self-harm. Issei grabs the dagger and goes into his true form, and the black marks from his falling on his arm is still shown, and he then slowly began to cut the parts of his skin as they began to bleed, and the fallen hurt him more whole, the blood dripped more. With another cut it dripped to his hand, as it was now red and black, as Issei coughed. Damn, red and black, the colors that cursed me to this fate, the colors of Reynar's wings and Ria's hair, now it matches my heart, as it slowly dies. Issei said as he saw the blood fall, and he only wished he said how he loved his mother. As he sat there with tears, he made sure he was left alone from the gears, as he didn't want them to talk to him today. Yet he heard a knock on the door, and the barrier for those we trust letting them knock. Issei, it's me, can you open up? Alice asked as the red from her mate mark formed a tear mark, showing Issei was hurt in more ways than one. Issei stayed silent, not sure what to say. I'm coming in, not buts. She yells, running in with her wings and a spear, breaking down the door, only to see Issei and blood. Talk of abuse and self-harm over. Issei, what are you doing? She spoke, running to him as his face is hidden in his white hair. AMD tears. Issei, never do that again, please, please, please. Alice spoke, beginning to break down, and taking away the knife as she hugged issei, holding him close in her arms and wings as she saw his pain. I'm sorry, I promise I won't do that again, issei says, patting her head and hugging her back, having them stay together for the next hour until they let go, rubbing off their tears. Hey Allison, can you please get some bandages? Issei asked, turning back to his hidden form as the fall went away, yet his cut still was there. Sure thing, be right back, love, remember in here, she says, getting up and ing his cheek to find the supplies. As she left, Issei sighed and unsealed the gears so they could talk to him, and he summoned his spear of purgatory. Issei, are you alright, partner? Drake asked, worried while being the only one to talk from the three. I don't know, Drake, I'm worried. I hear Mom's voice and I don't know why. It's like guilt, like it's MH's fault, Issei said as he cried while placing down the Holy Grail, the dragon's scales, and his spear in his hand, going from black to gold. I have to try, no matter the cost, Issei says as he drops some of his blood on his desk, sits the items, and begins to point the spear at it with his tears. Partner, even if this fails, I'm here for you. We all are. Albion is trying to figure this out. Please rest soon, my brother, Dryag says, making Issei smirk at his words before focusing. The dragon's fire bearing my soul, the death begone and life from old, bring back the life in my heart betrayed by the of her kin and devils red and cold. Issei spoke as his spear changed to a mix of the true Longinus and purgatory shadow. Longinus shadow, revive the soul of my mother, he yells, blasting a beam of gold and black at the desk to see if it would work as the gold glow of the Holy Grail shines, but after a flash everything but the Grail was gone, all his work. No. Issei cried, trying to fire again, but again nothing, and he just out his spear away in failure as his replica gear formed. Issei, I think the spear has changed. There might be. It's only changed by being useless, Issei yelled, cutting replica off until he put away the spear, not wanting to hear what changed about the spear after that blast as he sat down to wait for Alice. Sorry I'm late, took a minute, Alice said as walked in with a box of medical supplies and blood on her hands, startling Issei. Angel, what did you do? He asked, worried, but really he was more scared that he saw blood on her hands and her grin showing the look of joy. Oh, I just beat up Gremory a bit and showed Koneko and Kiba to a guest room or my room because I'm staying with you tonight, she says as she bandages him up and he blushes. What about Surzex and the others, Alice dear? Issei spoke, not sure what to do with his mate. He will meet us tomorrow. Now put up a sound barrier. I'm finishing what they stopped, big dragon, Alice says, making Issei go red, and do what Sue says as he smirks as he picks her up and outs her on the wall. Ing her. Lemons start round fallen dragon, couldn't help. The two began to more passionately as Alice and Isri spread their wings and held each other, and after a few moments they stopped. Baby, let's do this. I want a dragon to make this angel beg for mercy, Alice said, smiling as Issei smirked as he placed her down, and they stripped until Alice was only in her black and pink bra and panties while Issei was full on commando. That was awesome, Issei said, tired. I agree, Alice said, cuddling him until the door slams open to see Coa and Vala. I forgot to lock the door and the sound barrier shut off, didn't it? Issei said, scared. Yes, after we heard her say squeeze me harder, master, we heard it all, Coa said, angered and choked as Vala cracked his knuckles. You made our sister moan like a bitch. That's it, start running, Issei, Vala yells as Issei gets yo and runs as Alice lays in bed laughing, watching. I'm sorry, but I couldn't help it. She is so hot when she is covered in blood, Issei says, running. Boy, you called my sister hot, that's it, you're dead, he said, cha song after Issei. Thanks for watching this video. You really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow our RUINEDDRAGONARMY for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.